Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Monkey in the Morning. I'm your host, the Ranting Monkey. He's Jack. Say hello, Jack.
Hi, everybody.
Jack, how you doing this evening?
Tired. How are you?
I'm okay. Considering. Pretty good day, I suppose. Spent my whole day just kind of sitting here watching and reading and playing video games. So can't beat that shit.
Yeah. Well, that's more exciting than anything I did. So,
On the other hand, some of the stuff that I was watching and reading is, disturbing because that's our world now.
yeah, it's pretty dark times.
It's a weird place out there, man. Weird place.
A little bit.
Did you see that Project Veritas video?
Oh yeah.
Whew, man, I don't even know what to do anymore, man. How do these people get into these positions?
I have no idea, dude.
Um, we're
gatekeepers.
basically on my daytime internet, so this might be broken up a little bit, but that's all right because there's, you can read it, you guys. This is a dude who, well, I mean, he explains it in the video. He explains it, but I guess a little primer wouldn't be out of the ordinary. This is the guy who runs he's the dean, if I remember correctly. Yeah, dean. At Francis W. Parker School in Chicago, Illinois.
Before we play this, can I just point out that total pedo stash that he's got?
I know, right? I didn't have to hear a word he said. I'm like, that dude fucks kids. Now, I don't have proof he fucks kids, but he definitely looks like somebody who fucks kids.
He's wearing the mustache and uniform of a diddler.
Yes,
like if this dude drove an ice cream truck, I would not be shocked at all.
He is the dean. This is a very expensive, what is it, $40,000 a year school?
Yeah.
And on the screen right now, it just says, I had like our LGBTQ plus health center come in. Doesn't that make it sound like it's part of the school?
Yes.
Anyway, this is from Project Veritas. I want to give them the credit for this. This is another one of their little undercover videos. And
had like our LGBTQ plus health center come in. They were passing around butt plugs and dildos to my students, talking about queer sex, using lube versus using spit.
What?
Oh, you heard him.
You were passing around butt plugs and dildos to children and talking about the benefits of lube versus spit.
Like you do when you're like, little Billy, it's important I don't know. This is fucking gross.
Now, we're not going to watch the rest of this because he just repeats this stuff. The only other things that you find out in there is that apparently the parents are okay, but the trustees don't know anything that's going on. Now, I don't believe him that the parents know what's going on and are okay with it, but I mean, it is 2022, so it's possible.
Yeah.
It's not impossible for that to be a thing. Thank you, Metal Minister. Time for catapults into a field of wood chippers, right? Who thinks this is okay for kids?
Pedophiles.
Yes, that's the only, I mean, no, we need to teach. No, we don't. Why are you bringing dildos and butt plugs into children's school classes? Oh, Jack, you talk about them. You just have to talk about them. You don't have to bring them up. You could even have a drawing at worst. There's no reason to bring them in and go, hey, go ahead and touch that. Pass that around so later when I shove it in myself, I can feel like there's a bunch of little kids in there with it. Why is this acceptable?
I have no idea.
Bubba Smith, thank you. The West is done. Total moral bankruptcy. We really are. We're in the throes, man. When you are not protecting your children, when you're just making them just some other object to stick your wiener in, yeah, we've lost the plot.
Yeah, that's collapse of civilization stuff right there.
Angela says, what the hell did I just walk into? Sweetie, it's what's going on in the world today. I mean, this isn't the first time we've seen this kind of crap before. It might be the first time we've actually heard about them bringing sex toys into children's classrooms.
Oh, I don't even want to imagine what would happen if I was a parent of one of those kids.
Blood asks if you have the link for that short. Yeah, bud, hang on. It's on Project Veritas over on Twitter. I'm assuming that, do they still have a YouTube channel? They used
I
to.
don't know.
If not, you can go to their website. You should be able to get to almost all of their stuff free. I think it's like behind a paywall for a while, and then it goes free. Last I knew. But there's the link to it if you guys want to check it out. If you're over on Rumble, hang on, I will throw it over there. By the way, hi everybody on Rumble. Don't forget, guys, hit the like button, hit the Rumble button, donate if you can. Go buy yourself or your family something nice from our Teespring stores. They're down below. So I meant for your stream. Oh, you want to come hang out? Is that what you're talking about? That's not how that sounded, though. For a short. All right. Yeah, of course. Can you come hang out? Like I would be like, no, fuck you, old man. Have I ever been like that to you, Blood? Blood, are you friends with my cousin? I don't know if he's friends with my cousin.
I don't know.
Oh, yeah, they follow each other. Coming into your DMs now, my friend.
Yeah.
Speaking of which, I need to apologize for yesterday. We were supposed to have Sang on. She'll be on tomorrow instead. I had to cancel yesterday's show complete. I didn't do shit. After I put that, my cousin put that tweet out, I left the internet. I went and laid down. I fell a little bit in the hallway, Jack.
Oh,
Yeah, shit happens.
hold on. Let me see if I have any shock left in the bag here.
Well, I also was playing with Phoebe yesterday. Phoebe likes to play catch, kind of. She likes you to throw a toy, and she likes to run after the toy. And then she runs up to it and stops. And then she looks at you like, all right, pick it up and throw it again. And that's how we play fetch with Phoebe. Bloodwing.
Hey, fellas.
Hey,
How you
Blood.
doing, my friend?
I'm doing good. Finally home from the hospital.
Good.
I'm glad to hear. You feeling any better?
Yeah, a lot of pain. Learning. Well, I've got an incision from ankle to crotch. I'm not joking.
Ouch.
Wow.
And of course, they took my big toe off, and so a lot of pain. And learning to walk all over again because your big toe
Right.
keeps your balance.
You had a bypass, right?
Yeah, an arterial bypass. They bypassed the arteries in my leg because the surgery that had done a few years ago, if you remember, failed.
Oh, damn. Well, I'm glad they were able to do something for you, though.
Yeah, it just wasn't a lot of fun. I hate being cooped up in the hospital.
Sure,
Yeah.
man. Nothing to do, and there's disease all around.
Oh, Jesus. Nothing to do but watch TV and remember why I hate TV.
Oh, fair.
Yeah, home now and on the mend.
Good.
So they want to teach all this crap that half the people your age don't even know to our children.
I mean, yes. I just don't understand why.
I don't either.
And again, the only thing we can come up with, the only thing that seems to make any sense is they want to have sex with children.
That's all that makes sense to me.
I don't understand any other reason you would be having such sexualized classes. Now, the guy in the video, he says, I'm sure the parents would be fine with it. He doesn't actually say the parents no. And he sure as hell didn't say, yes, we have them all go have their parents sign a permission form so that they can be in our dildo class. Which I don't know about you guys, but when I went through sex ed in junior high school, it was in 7th grade. My mom had to sign off on it.
Yeah.
Look, the first rule of Butt Plug Club is don't talk about Butt Plug Club.
Exactly.
You realize you're not helping the argument that that's a gay book and movie, right?
Yeah, I mean, even as far back when I went to school, you had to sign off on it.
Yeah. And now it's like, get the dildos. Let's discuss. Let's have a discussion about whether you should spit on it or not.
Well, you got to remember that these teachers now and these administrators do not believe that children belong to the parents. They think they belong to the village. And
Well,
since they
yeah.
are the smartest people, they are the elders and wisest, so they should be the ones to educate your children. They know best.
And you're not wrong about that, but still, it doesn't make it any better, especially where they're taking it. They're not. It's not like we know better, so we're going to teach your kids how to do math. And look, math scores are going up. For some reason, it's always like, okay, we know better. We're going to say that you don't actually have to have tests. Homework is shit. And by the way, if you're going to shove it in her butt, make sure you spit on it if you don't have lube.
Oh, no, this was to lure in young men to take it in the pooper. I'm telling you, this is total pedo bait.
I mean, I'm no prude by any means, but this is stuff I didn't learn until after I was married.
Well, you're also from a little bit older of a time.
A little bit.
But even, look, I don't want to pretend that I didn't know anything by the time I went into that sex ed class. We didn't learn anything in there except for maybe the proper names of stuff.
Yeah, but I mean, like toys and yada yada.
But our teacher didn't get up there and have okay, let's have a debate. You're team A, you're team B. You guys are lube and you guys are spit. Argue. Which one's better?
Yeah. Well, after seeing the video of this guy, I was like, did he go in and demonstrate or request they do it to him? Like, okay, first you try lube on my butt, and then you're going to try your spit, okay? Ugh.
That dude looks like Mr. Slave got cancer.
Yeah, he looks like, I'm telling you, man, he looks like he drives a ice cream
Look,
truck.
I don't believe in phrenology, but I absolutely believe in the power of predicting how people are going to act based on their facial hair.
I'm starting to believe in phrenology because that dude looks like a total criminal head shape.
See, it wasn't the head shape. It's just that damn mustache. Thank you, Cryptic, over on the Streamlabs. Glad the old man is all right. I need him to be around to play 1,000 hours of Arc 2. The old fart can grind more than any MMO player I know. Well, there you go.
Yeah.
Thank you, Cryptic.
That's true. For once, he spoke the truth.
You're just a little bit quiet. Is there any way you can move your mic closer?
Yeah, hold on a sec.
I say, if not, you just had a major surgery. You don't have to. I'm just throwing it out.
How's that? Is that better?
Yeah, a little bit. Thank you so much. Chaos One, thank you. Tongue buttering the turtle cave implies spit is the butter. So if it's not a tongue, what would you call that? I blame you for these idle thoughts. What do you mean if it's not a tongue? It's clearly a tongue. I don't understand the question.
Well, it's the age-old debate of lube versus spit. It's sort of a chicken and egg thing because lube is just artificial spit.
Basically, yeah.
And
By
everybody knows the greatest lubricant is tears.
The second best lube beyond something that's actually made to lube is spit. Yeah. It works. I don't know why. That's what they say. I didn't write the shit. I just don't understand why you're having that conversation with kids. And more important, why did you bring actual sex toys into the classroom?
Now what age group was these kids?
I think it's a high school, but don't quote me on that.
Yeah, it's a high school.
Okay, well that makes it. Well,
But he doesn't tell us what grade of the high school.
Well, I mean, it doesn't matter because he probably thinks of them all as biological adults by now. These people are fucking disgusting.
High schoolers are sexually active, no doubt about it. But come on.
Yeah, I don't know. So I'm trying to look it up. I wonder what all grades they have. What's the name of the school? Francis what?
Oh.
You know what? But that doesn't help me.
Well, I didn't say it was gonna help.
But you're supposed to be here so I don't have to pay attention to shit. Did I not tell you that?
No.
Oh, that's my bad.
No, I missed that.
The way it worked out there.
Francis W. Parker Schools of Chicago, Illinois.
Welcome. Now, I had heard they had taken their website down. It looks like it's up because they've gotten quite a bit of backlash over this.
As they should. This is degeneracy of the highest order. The parents should be pissed.
This does not look like high school kids. I'm not putting it on the screen because there's. Is this all different ages?
It might be a K through 12 school. It's a private school.
Ah, interesting. Anyway, yeah, I'm not putting that on screen because some of those children are very, very young and they're all underage. So I'm not. I also blurred out their faces from the thumbnail just because look, because these assholes are putting those pictures of children out there doesn't mean I'm gonna do it.
Yeah, I mean, seriously, if you're trying to teach sex to children under junior high age, you're a sicko. You're just sick.
Well, I mean, if you look at the kind of stuff we've seen coming off of TikTok, where there's some people. Well, look at the guy from Planned Parenthood just the other day. He said everybody is sexual from birth. And this is the guy who's going to be the head of Planned Parenthood's education initiative. They're going to go into schools and talk about how sexual your children are from birth, you know, so they can get abortions and pay Planned Parenthood for it.
Yeah. Well,
that's a real thing.
I know. I was so enraged reading that. How all these degenerates keep getting in power is beyond me. But you know, once they get their foot in the door, they start hiring in their friends, and then they sort of network that way. And next thing you know, you've got an entire school full of degenerate pedos, and a bunch of complicit people who do nothing to stop them.
And not just that. I mean, school boards have to be, and maybe not in this Francis Parker school because it's a private school, but a lot of the stuff we've seen, school boards have to be involved. And not just school boards. Some of the shit we've seen is coming from state houses. It's coming from legislatures and being signed off by governors.
Yeah, well, they're all run by other people that got in the same way. You know, how many people do you know have ever run for school board? True. So they just elect the people that are running. And if the only people running are degenerate perverts, that's what you end up with.
Yeah.
Real quick. Thank you, Frosted Glass. If anyone's interested, I'm now selling my own brand of lube called I Can't Believe It's Not Spit. By the way, the teacher's favorite movie, Footloose.
Should have went with I Can't Believe It's Not Tears. Anyway, yeah, so this is just, it is. Adam, this is setting up the normalization of pedophilia. I would actually say it is part of the ongoing normalization of pedophilia.
Yeah, they started this a while ago, and it's getting so much worse. And most people are just sitting back and not doing a damn thing about it.
Or defending it.
Yeah. You've got a lot of people that are going to be like, oh, it's a sexual orientation.
Oh, yeah, that's coming.
Yeah, oh, yeah, absolutely. I think that's going to be the mainstream narrative here shortly, because that's what they're really pushing for.
Well, we've seen that as well. I mean, several of those studies that Hunter had brought up when me and him had his stupid debate, several of those referred to it as an orientation.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, this is all starting from academia, and it's going to get a lot worse.
You know, so they can put their wiener in your child.
Be a dead wiener.
Yeah.
Well, until people start pushing back, this shit's going to get a lot worse.
Well, part of the problem is that the people who do push back, look at people like Gays Against Groomers or Libs of TikTok or anybody that takes that kind of public, hey, this shit needs to stop approach. They're immediately, you hate the gays.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, a lot of the resistance for this has to come from the gay community. Because if it doesn't, this is going to end very poorly for everybody involved. Because they're the ones that are going to take the brunt of the pushback on this shit. As soon as the P gets added to the LGBTQ, they're all going to take the heat for this.
Yeah, gay people, you guys need to make sure you're loud and proud. This shit ain't us. Fuck off. Because it's not. This is a whole different group of degenerates. And I don't know what kind of degeneracy you have in your regular life.
Well, we've all been to a Pride March.
Sure. But this is a whole different thing. They are actually trying to sexualize kids. This is even worse than anything that happened with Cuties, where they got these girls dancing up there so that weird guys on YouTube, what was that? What's that dude's name? Mr. Girl, so that he can beat off to it. This is actual sex toys in the classroom.
Yeah.
What the fuck were you thinking? By the way, he was very proud of his drag queen that they had come in.
Oh, of course he was. Of course.
I don't know why.
Of course, this has been going on for some time, though. I remember a good 25 years ago, one of my daughters brought home a book from the library. And as good parents, we checked out what books she checked out. And one of them had full nudity in it. This is a 6-year-old child. I exploded.
Yeah, I mean, it's not a slow process to change something like a society hating the idea of pedophilia to turning it into where we're at right now, where many people are actually passive, and you have several starting to go into, yeah, I understand. That's not that big of a deal, really. Kids can see, this is why anytime it comes up with, look how smart these kids are. Kids are dumb. Stop doing that. That is part of this. That is part of it. Look how smart they are. Look how they're leading the way. Well, if little Greta is smart enough to explain global warming to people who have, lived more than 2 decades, why wouldn't she be able to consent to different things, whether it's a contract or a sexual relationship?
Yeah, or cutting their body parts off for gender affirmation.
Mm-hmm. All of this shit is leading this way. It's to make it acceptable to
and
fuck
YouTube
kids.
right now is full of videos of people that have done the transition and are sorry for it.
Oh, you know what I've started to notice? They have a new group. It's detransitioners who don't hate the transition they went through. All 2 of them they've been able to find.
Yeah.
And they're like, look, most studies show that detransitioners still support transitioning. Well, yeah, but that doesn't talk about whether they support it for children. It doesn't talk about actual informed consent. It's just like, yes, if this will help you, then we still support it. Not the shit they necessarily went through. Here, you want to let people do all this stuff? Fine. Just tell them, hey, by the way, you're never going to have an orgasm again. You're not going to be able to have children. There's a good chance there will be a long hair growing out of your urethra that has to be surgically removed every 4 to 5 years. Give them the truth.
No, they will never do that because there's too much money involved.
And stop doing it to kids. Have you seen that graph? I think Chloe has it up. Let me see.
Real quick. Thank you, Uncle Adolf, who says, at Happy Valley, we have final solutions. He is talking, of course, about his new ranch dressing solutions.
They are good. I really like the smoky bacon one.
Yeah.
It's tasty.
It's not made of certain groups of people.
I'll be honest, I don't like when they add flavors to my ranch dressing. I can accept the buttermilk, but don't put bacon in that. That just tastes funny.
The weirdest specifics for ranch dressing I have ever heard.
Look, I have my leave me alone. All right, here's a map that's showing the number of pediatric gender clinics in 2007. In the United States, there was 2. 15 years ago, there was 2. The bottom map, I haven't even counted up how many there are. They are all over the fucking country.
Yeah, and what makes me sad is my area has several.
Jane says, this makes me sick. We'll listen another time. Love you, Monk. Love you back. I know, but sometimes we have to talk about this stuff because not talking about it's not going to make it go away.
Yeah, it's going to make it worse. The more you know about what's going on, the better off you are. Unfortunately, it's very uncomfortable sometimes.
Yeah. So I understand, I do, but it's something that needs talked about. So have a good night, and we'll catch you next time.
Yeah.
Not to change the subject, but there's a pretty good chance, Muffy, I'll be moving to Michigan shortly.
On purpose?
Your daughter, you going to go stay
My
with her?
daughters, so they can help take care of
Gotcha.
me.
Yeah. See, I went right there because I know I've been stalking you for a while, sir.
Yeah, so they can help take care of me. They're already looking for places for me to live.
Peter says must be profitable. Yeah, we've talked about the profitability of it. That one chick. I wish I knew what that video was. I have crappy internet right now, so we couldn't watch it anyway. But she gets up there and she's telling her hospital why they need to go down the gender transformation path. It wasn't to help the patients. It wasn't to keep kids from killing themselves. What are some of the other things they tell us? It wasn't to make them feel better about no. It was about the money. It was about the tens of hundreds of thousands of dollars that they can make, not just on the swap, because those surgeries and hormones and stuff can be expensive. It's the long term, because that shit doesn't stop when you get the surgery.
And I think I can speak for the other two here. We're not talking about adults that are informed that go through it with dysphoria and whatnot. We have friends
Look,
that are in different stages. Monkey and Jack and I, that are in different stages of that.
I think that it's probably bad for anybody. Look, if it helps them and they get through it, and they've actually been through all of the information, they have informed consent. You're an adult, all right, fine. But again, that chart we just looked at, that is pediatric gender clinics, and there's got to be hundreds of them there. And yeah. They're like, no, it's good for kids, because if you don't let kids do this, they're gonna kill themselves. Except all they're really interested in is the money. The one that lady told us, there's a clinic, and it's different depending on what kind of surgery you get. If you just get the hormones, they don't make as much money. If you just get top surgery, they make a little bit. If you get vaginoplasty, they get a little bit more. They're starting to get into the real money. But where the real money seems to be coming from is fake wieners. The female to male transformation.
Oh, yeah, I'm sure.
She said that there's a clinic out there that everything they do is paid for with just that. Nice, ain't it? And again, not a single fucking word about how it helps the patient. Not a one. All about how much money they could make if they jumped into this nonsense.
And this is for real. I mean, I think it was a couple of years ago. One of my granddaughters came to me and said, "Papa, I think I'm gay." And I looked at her and I said, "What makes you think that?" Well, it was things she learned at school. We're talking a 9-year-old. I said, "Well, sweetheart, I don't think that you've probably figured out what you are by this point. Why don't you hold on to that thought for a few more years?"
Well, we have an issue right now with girls where, look, we all know how they've treated boys, but right now we have an issue with girls where they're telling them, as a girl, you'll never be shit. By the way, we can put a dick on you if you'd like.
Yeah.
And they're like, I can't believe this shit's... What are you talking about? No, this is perfectly normal. They're coming to this decision all by themselves. We're certainly not having Pride months. Pride months. You need a whole month for gay people. And let's be honest, it's for the trans. They didn't switch it to Pride month for you gay folks. You guys realize they don't give a fuck about you, right? That you're just a tool right now because they slap their nonsense onto your shit, and you have some legitimacy because you had legitimate issues in America. And they're like, slap it onto there, because then we'll be able to have legitimacy and people won't be able to say anything bad about us because then they'll be phobic. You realize they're just using you, right? Oh, but yeah, all this shit's being pushed in schools. as young as kindergarten. The don't say gay bill. Hey, teachers, just don't talk to kids under 8 years old about sex and sexuality. And they're like, oh my, you fucking bigots. I should be able to tell that 5-year-old about plowing my boyfriend on our ski trip. Anyway.
It makes me mad that these are real things that we have to deal with.
I know. You guys, some of you guys out there might think I'm being hyperbolic, but just barely. No. Barely.
Not at all. And thank Devil Fruit Zero. I'm recovering. I'm getting better. Thank you.
All right, let's move along from this shit before my head explodes. Let's see. What else did I have today? I should have quite a bit, you would think, because I was off yesterday, but not really. Guys, the New York Times, within the next hour and a half, unless I've missed something since the show started, they're going to have a walkout.
Oh, boo. Maybe they can hire some qualified people.
All of the employees are going to walk out because they want a better contract. And they're asking everybody for the next, until the union issue is settled, not to read the New York Times.
I'm sure the pushback from all their fans will make this very short.
Yeah, all 5 of them.
Now, here's what I suggest, because I don't support either side in this. The management, they're the ones who've helped foster this place, and the people who are working there are the shitbags who write this and keep it going. Find alternate ways to read the New York Times, legal alternate ways, I have to say that. And make sure you read a bunch of it until the strike is over, but not on the New York Times website. Just throwing that out there.
Pirate it.
Because fuck both of them. You know what I hope? I hope they come up with a contract, right? And that it eventually pulls the company under. That they just can't keep it up because there's just too much weight.
Oh, like that internet game show that just went under.
Oh, G4 and them?
Yeah.
Yeah. Exactly like that. Like, oh, here, give them all this money. Please do. Please do. And then let the whole thing crumble down because they deserve each other. Fuck them. All right. This is kind of on the same topic that we started the show on. Buck Angel is getting shit because he said transsexualism is a mental disorder.
Yeah, I saw somebody tried to take him down over that.
Yep. He actually got a notice from Twitter. I'll read it on the screen here real fast. It says, Twitter is required by German law to provide notice to users who are reported by people from Germany via the Network Enforcement Act reporting flow. We've received a complaint regarding your account at Buck Angel for the following content. It's a tweet that reads, transsexualism is a mental disorder. Have a nice day. Love, Buck.
Okay. What did he say that was wrong?
I don't know. Because that's...
Isn't it explained legally as a mental disorder?
No, not anymore. It was reclassified.
Oh.
And I don't understand that. I really don't. We should be able... Look, if people can find a way to live with it, great.
Yeah.
But if you believe that you're in the wrong body, if your brain literally is like, this is not the right body, I should have been born a girl, or I should have been born a boy, and you weren't. That's actually a fucking mental disorder. You shouldn't feel like you're in the wrong body. Why in the fuck is that something that we have to pretend is not true?
Look, my youngest sister is nuttier than a fruitcake. No lie. She's just plain bonkers, but I still love her.
Wow, she's a woman.
It doesn't mean they're bad people, but Jesus Christ, I want to pretend that I'm still young and virile and can run marathons, but I'm crippled. Having what is wrong in my neck, it's not like, no, that's perfectly normal. No. I'm crippled. I'm physically disabled. And I don't understand why when it comes to mental diseases, we can't go, yeah, that's a mental problem.
And I've just re-entered the cripple faction, and I'm perfectly fine.
No, you're differently abled.
Yeah. In fact, I'm going to have what do they call that when they cut something off and they give you like a fake leg or whatever, a prosthetic.
Oh, prosthetic, yeah.
Yeah, I got fitted for a prosthetic toe.
Nice. You kick somebody in the jimmy with that and you win.
Yeah, there you go.
No, it's just I hate this notion that we're not allowed to just point out the truth, because that's what we're talking about here, the truth.
Not to completely.
No, you
diverge,
can't say that. You might hurt somebody's feelings. I'm sorry, Jack. I just stepped all over you there.
No, that's all right. I want to address something Bloodwing said. Don't get a prosthetic toe, Bloodwing. Get a bionic one. Then you can have a TV show all about you, the man with the bionic toe. And you'll have to go around and fight crime using just your bionic toe. It'll be awesome. Toe. I'd watch that.
The bionic toe.
The $6 million toe.
No, actually, it's to fit in my shoes so I don't fall over forward.
Yeah, because a lot of people don't know, but your big toe does control a lot of your balance.
Yeah.
Yes.
I've already fell down once because I leaned too far forward in the bathroom.
Oh, don't do that. You'll get accused of monkey appropriation.
No shit. Every time you fall down, you owe me $5.
$5.
Peter says, maybe, and hear me out, if you convince your doctors that you identify as not crippled, they'll fix your neck. Well, no, so you have to understand that their idea when they're like, you're not mentally but not, I don't want to say disabled, mentally off, is that okay? You're just not mentally off. They don't fix anything. They just declare it. Oh yeah, never mind. We were wrong.
I just realized something. I'm now part of another small faction called amputees.
That's true.
Let's
see.
You should be careful. You'll get a bunch of people super horny because there's people that have a fetish.
That's true.
That.
There's people who like the amputees.
Yeah.
Let's talk about this for a moment. This goes back to the Twitter file. So yesterday, I really did want to do a show yesterday because we had a little bit of a glimpse of the next round of Twitter files. Except not exactly. We found out that a man named James Baker, who we read about when we read the Twitter files, he's a lawyer that works there at the Twitter, or used to. All of the Twitter files were going through him.
Yeah, because he was one of the lawyers.
Yes, he's like lead counsel, if I remember correctly.
Yeah.
Everything was going through him. The problem is he was implicated in this stuff.
Well, that's just convenient. You know,
yeah.
Look, just because he used to be a lawyer for the FBI and some of these things may have implicated him or the FBI, that's got nothing to do with anything. He was just like, look, I know you said send it all to him, but not this one, not that one, not this one. It's not totally self-serving at all, Monkey.
This is Kyle. Thank you. Says, hello, chat people, Monkey, Jack, and Blood. Good to see you, hear you again, Blood.
Thank you, Kyle. Thank you. Appreciate it.
Pyrus wanted me to ask you, Blood, did you sell your big toe to Blonde from Matt Christensen's channel there? She likes collecting body parts, so.
No, I didn't. I doubt she'd want this one. It was black and dead. So.
Oh, I think she would absolutely want that, but because she's a weirdo. Call me Blonde.
Devil's Advocate says that was a genius move. Yeah, I do not understand, because I'm imagining Elon saw this shit before it went out. I hope he did. And if he didn't, I hope he's learned to look, because the motherfucker was implicated.
Yeah,
and it was still going through him. I
don't think Elon had that much time to really look at this stuff that deeply. He's just like, just give it all to these guys. Because Barry Weiss and Matt Taibbi or whatever his name is, that's why he had them doing it, because he doesn't have enough time to delegate all this shit himself. So he's got to mitigate. I can't fucking talk today. You know what I mean? He delegated it to those two so he didn't have to fucking deal with it. But the fact that it went through this lawyer and the lawyer's fucking corrupt as shit, he probably didn't even know that Baker was a former FBI general counsel, because this guy was kind of grandfathered in when he bought the place.
Maybe. But the interesting part about this to me is that Elon was asked if he talked to Baker about this. And he said, yes, I did. And his answers were unsatisfactory.
Yeah.
Whoopsie. So yeah, the guy who was helping to, suppress information was put in charge of making sure information got released. Elon asked him about it, and from what Matt Taibbi said, and actually Elon kind of commented more on this too, where it sounds like this motherfucker might have been deleting some stuff.
Oh, probably.
Now, we don't know that for certain, but that's definitely the implication. Him and others, by the way.
Yeah. On the plus side, they do work at a tech firm, so I'm sure everything he tried to delete could be recovered.
Well, an interesting thing popped up around this, and this is where my real interest lies in this story specifically. Suddenly, a whole bunch of reporters came out to tell us that that the only reason they're talking about this, here, let me bring up this shitbag. Our old friend Ben Collins from NBC had this to say. Elon's team is just creating new main characters for Fox News to accuse of treason by implying they did some sort of high crime, but never actually saying what the crime is. This is about creating pariahs to launch a mob against in order to ironically suppress their speech.
Bullshit. That's such a stupid. Oh my God. That guy. How does that guy put his pants on by himself?
Seal, thank you. Elon said he did not find out about Baker until Sunday. Fair enough.
That sounds like that would explain rather why we haven't been getting as much information out as they had promised. So that would not surprise me.
Well, old Ben here is replying to Melissa Ryan, who said this. Taibbi, and by extension Monk, is basically inciting harassment and potentially against another former Twitter employee now, an employee who was apparently only just fired. By the way, that sounded like I missed a word. I did not. I read it as written. But there's this narrative going around now that this whole thing about releasing all of this nonsense that we pretty much knew was going on behind the scenes but could never prove, it's all just to send hate mobs after people. It's just to get the hate mobs going. They're going to go out there and say mean things to these people. James Baker can come onto Twitter and say whatever he wants, as far as I know.
This is, like I said, I was in the hospital and was forced to watch TV because there's nothing else to do. And the hospital channels were all over this story.
Well, they're covering the story, but they're not covering the story.
No, right.
What they're doing instead is going around, and what I mean by that, guys, believe me, that makes more sense than it sounds like. Instead of covering what actually happened in the story, they have all kinds of things around it. Like my favorite is there are dozens of clips of this is a nothing burger. That's my favorite.
Well, their favorite tactic on the TV was, but January 6th.
Oh, yeah, there's that. Corey, thank you. Blood is now the guy from Where's My Toe? Scary Story.
I remember that story.
Yeah, so they're covering, but they're not covering what actually happened in it. They're not covering the real tweets that mattered in there. They're not covering the Biden team was actually involved in this stuff. No. There's two stories going on right now. Is that it's a nothing burger and that they're trying to incite hate. And shut up. This is kind of related. It's an MSNBC opinion article where it says that Elon Musk is disproportionately, you guys will love this, disproportionately targeting left-wing accounts. That's got to suck.
No.
Being targeted for your political opinion.
Yeah, it's almost like he's applying the rules evenly.
Yeah, look, I'm not saying he's not going after lefties, but before we can ever tell if he is, because the way the rules have been unevenly applied up till now for at least the last 6 years. Let's go back to 2016 when all of this started so strongly, so forcefully. All he'd have to do is go, we're going to apply the rules evenly, and it would look like they were purging the left because they've gotten away with everything since then.
How dare you?
I got a 7-day suspension for calling a woman a bimbo. I have seen people not suspended at all and not have to take down their tweet for calling a woman a fucking cunt. But it was okay because she was right wing and they were left.
Mm-hmm.
No trouble at all. And look, I do know that when it comes to content moderation, a lot of times it has to do with somebody reporting you. But that bimbo comment, I went down that fast. That was an automatic thing. Like I hit enter and bam, I got suspended. So if I can get suspended that fast for bimbo, I know cunt can get you hit because I've seen it happen to other people.
Well, yeah. Well, you got hit for clit.
I did for saying somebody was as sensitive as a clit, yeah. But I think it was Bear who got hit for cunt. He was talking to, no, it wasn't. One of our friends of the show got hit for cunt. I forget which one it was. Yeah.
Bear got hit for joking with one of his friends.
It was Bloodwing, wasn't it?
Oh, it was
not Bloodwing. Sorry. Drunken Uncle.
Drunkle? Okay, I was thinking it was.
Yeah, I think it was Drunkle.
I think it was Drunkle. He said something like he was going to kill him. I forget. He threatened him. But anyway, I just have to bring this one up because, wow, I don't really have much to say about it. Florida man busted for public sex with dog, wrecking church nativity scene.
Oh, Lord.
Oh,
Lord.
Go big or go home?
Now, I'll be honest with you. I didn't read the story, but
do you need to?
I'm very curious if he was having sex with dog in the with the dog in the manger and just knocked shit over, or if he had sex with the dog and then like that wasn't good enough and beat shit up.
No, a bunch of parents were like walking their kids around looking at the lights or whatever, and it turns out he was disguised as shepherd and he starts banging the dog right there and be like, "Hey, what's up? You like that? You like that?" Some weird shit, sick shit like that. This is Florida.
That was the poster child for phrenology.
Oh, come all ye faithful. Stop it, Frosted. Yeah, banging a dog and wrecking a nativity scene. Florida, look, what the hell are y'all doing down there? I think there's just too much sun.
Something in the water. It's cursed land.
Oh, it was Indian land, wasn't it? There's probably some burial grounds they built upon.
Yeah. Well, they drained some burial swamp.
Yeah. Going back to the Elon leaks releases. Jack popped his head up, not our Jack. Jack Dorsey popped his head up to say this. If the goal is transparency to build trust, why not just release everything without filter and let people judge for themselves, including all discussions around current and future actions? Make everything public now. Hashtag Twitter files. Well, Jack, if you don't mind, not you, Jack, other Jack, Dorsey, you are in no position to say anything about any of this.
Yeah,
ever. This shit happened under you.
And
now,
he did nothing to stop it.
Not a thing. He just let the JJ go wild. And I will say this, I don't think Jack was involved with that much of it. I think he just turned it over to his underlings and didn't pay attention as he was smoking dope and doing yoga.
Yeah, being top dog, he probably didn't,
But a lot of this stuff should have went through him, as these were major policy changes. At the very least, he should have signed off on them. But why would he want them all released now? See, I want them all released now so I can read them. I'm what's the word? Impatient.
I'm a believer in getting all information and making your own choice. That's why I don't.
And you know what? I hope when
or Fox,
I hope when this is done that Matt Taibbi and Barry Weiss, that they release everything and not just their versions of everything. But the only reason to release this stuff right now would be so everybody could see it. And what happens if everybody sees it? Everybody gets it at the same time. Well, Jack, are 100,000 people going to watch you and me talking about this, or 100,000 people going to be watching CNN and MSNBC talking about it?
Well, I would hope they're watching us, but that's not going to happen.
Yeah, we know it's not going to. It would be great if it did, but they're going to go watch the mainstream. Who's already lied about what's happened so far. So why would you want them to be the ones combing through it and getting to tell everybody what's going on?
No, you know
They're
why?
implicated. I'm sorry, Jack. I stepped on you there.
So curate it. They'll be
exactly.
They'll do everything they can to protect him, and he knows that.
I'm gonna go get coffee, guys. I'll be right back. If you hear any loud thumps or anything, it's just me falling over. No big deal.
You be careful. Let's talk about Georgia. Actually, Georgia and Alaska. So we finally got our runoffs done, Jack, and up there in Alaska, Lisa Murkowski wins.
Of course, because McConnell funneled a shit ton of money away from Blake Masters to her, so she could beat another Republican.
And in the House race there in Alaska, I forget who the winner is, but Palin was the one running against her. Palin loses, so Democrats picked up another seat in the House.
Yeah.
And then in Georgia, in a race that is actually closer than I thought it was going to be, just the two of them, Raphael Warnock has beat Herschel Walker. So the Democrats officially have a 51-49 lead in the Senate, which is only really important when it comes to nothing, because anything that they can do at 51, they could have done at 50.
That's the principle of the matter, I think, more than anything.
Oh, I agree. I've seen a lot of people talking about what went wrong. I saw some people talk, is this the end of Donald Trump? No, it's not. It's not. One, Donald Trump did announce way too early, but those who are this shows he can't win. Shut up. This shows that nobody really cared about this Senate race. And that the Republicans picked incredibly bad candidates.
Yeah, this election was very close, and if it had been a better candidate, I think they would have won.
If the Republicans would have put up a different candidate in Pennsylvania and Georgia, barring them having their own scandals, Jack, if they'd have put them in Pennsylvania and Georgia, they would be running the Senate right now.
Yep.
Instead, they bring in a fucking carpetbagger in Pennsylvania, and they bring in a guy who's clearly had a lot of head injuries down there in Georgia.
Yeah, he's poorly spoken, but I think McConnell taking money away from a lot of the candidates really, really hurt them in a lot of these Senate races.
Yeah.
And he propped up shitty candidates. Murkowski voted with the Democrats way too often, but that's who he wants in there. So that's what we got.
JMK says need new blood. Well, that chick whose law firm is representing Ari Jacob, I forget her name.
Harmette Dillon.
She is running to be the head of the RNC.
Yeah, because Ronna McDaniel has done fucking nothing.
Yeah.
She's lost the last big time these last three major elections.
But they held on, to have one more. Instead of just two, let's have three.
Yeah.
Yay, I didn't fall.
Good job.
It did sound like you dropped something, though.
I dropped my butt on my chair. I can't sit down quite right yet. I just kind of flop.
But yeah, so we have the Senate is now officially the Democrats. I think we have the full numbers on the House, which of course went Republican. But I see a lot of Republicans taking the wrong message from this. Trump absolutely could still win. And anybody who's writing him off right now is as bad as anybody's like, he's definitely going to win. It is way too early to tell.
Yeah.
Dylan isn't going to be the savior you think she is. Maybe not, but at least there's somebody trying something different.
Well, there's a couple people up for it. I'm not saying any of these people are saviors. I'm saying that Rona McDaniel sucks at her job and should be replaced. Lee Zeldin is also in the running, and somebody else I didn't care about.
I want Dylan to win because then we are 2 degrees separated from there. I reach out to Ari and go, hey, could you tell your friend this and see what happens? Ari, if you're out there, could I do that? Could I reach out to you and be like, hey, tell her this?
Jim Beam, the short version is I just got home from a month and a half in the hospital, had major surgeries, including the amputation of my toe. So
now, did you get to pick which toe they took, or did they decide that?
No, it was kind of obvious because it was dead and black.
Yeah, I don't think they were like.
I think I'm a big tough guy. And
wait, how do you hang on? Evolution is a thing. How do you know you weren't just becoming a black man?
The pain, maybe.
I've heard black people are always in pain.
That's the generational trauma.
Yeah. It's the DNA slavery thing.
Yeah.
So you were just never mind. I'm gonna stop because that's gonna get me in trouble.
No, Lucky, you asked if he got to pick the toe. I'm pretty sure they had a medical reason and weren't like, all right, we're not gonna bill you if we get a toe.
Eeny, meeny, miny, mo.
You don't know.
Yeah, they're out there with like some gardening shears. Like, what hospital do you think he went to? Was it like run by the Stooges?
You don't know. Maybe he offended one of them, and they're like, one of those hospitals.
Yeah,
an Italian hospital.
Roasted opinion. I'm a conservative, but I'm not a Republican. But one of the Republicans' biggest problems right now, as far as I see it, is they can't pick a candidate.
Their candidate selection was horrible, and it's not because they went with people who supported Trump or who believed that 2016 was stolen.
No.
It's because they had just bad candidates. And the 2 most obvious examples are Pennsylvania and Georgia. Without those 2, they get control of the Senate. And now Biden has a blank check if any Supreme Court seats open up, because it just takes a 50+1 vote to get it passed. And now they have that. So go ahead.
They're just going to pack the court.
They absolutely can. The only thing that they have a problem with packing the court is getting the changes passed through to do it, which they could do. But I'm not even worried about packing the court. I'm worried the people on the court some of them are pretty old, and even young people can die. What happens if 2 of them pass away in the next 2 years and Biden gets to choose the replacements? 2 of the conservatives, actually, say Thomas and Scalia go out. Then what?
Don't even think it would be that bad, because look at how little they've done to protect the justices when there were protests against them.
Correction, Monkey. You mean Kamala picked them?
Fair. Well, yeah.
Ron Klain's going to pick them. Who we kidding?
So it does worry me. I told you guys during the campaign and on election night, I do not give a fuck about the House. I really don't. The House is mostly there. It's supposed to be controlling the purse strings, but they just give a blank check to whatever. So it's not like they do their fucking job. If the Republicans were going to take one of the chambers, I wanted it to be the Senate, specifically to stop Biden from being able to put another Sotomayor or Kanji Brown up there on the court.
By the way, hey, Scribbles, long time no see.
What was that? I'm sorry, bud.
You said hi, Scribe.
Hi, Scribe.
Anyway, what else we got going on today? Oh, you remember the Surfs? We've talked about them once or twice. Lance over there at the Surfs here on YouTube, he tried to be one of the debate bros, but he's really stupid, so it doesn't work out.
Seems to be a theme lately.
Well, he tweeted this out today. Since being charged with hate crimes, the Club Q's shooter's lawyer is using he, him pronouns to refer to him in the hearing. They are no longer claiming non-binary as his identity. I'm like, wow, that's a revelation. So I went and watched the hearing. There was just a preliminary hearing yesterday. It was the hearing to set up the evidentiary hearings. It was a minor one. They turned in the charges. These are what we're charging them with. And then they set up the date for when they're going to have the beginning of not even jury selection. This is just, okay, we're going over the simple evidence. Not once did he refer to his client by any fucking pronoun. Not once. I'll put the link in the chat. You guys can check it and quote me or fact check me. Not only that, he referred to him repeatedly as Mix Alchibald or whatever his name is. That fake made up prefix instead of Mr. or Mrs. Mix repeatedly, including at the end of the fucking hearing. But 32,000 people liked Lance saying this stupid shit without it being real. So now that's just what happened, you see. It's completely made up, the whole. And look, I'm not sure I believe that he's non-binary, but I don't like people who lie about this shit. There you go. It's in the chat if you guys are interested. Did I close? Oh my God, I think I closed my Rumble. I didn't mean to. Whoopsie. Anyway, I'll get it over to you guys on Rumble here in a second. It's amazing to me how easy it is to just lie to people, and nobody goes and checks. Nobody goes and sees, wait, is this really what's going on? Because no, they just it's confirmation bias. They heard what they wanted to hear. So like, I knew it. No, it's fucking stupid. Scum, no, I understand that Rumble's still running, but I closed my ability to look at it. I meant to move it back over to this screen because I was splitting it. So I'm trying to be better about reading chat on both sides. But instead of moving it back over, I closed it instead. Whoopsie. All right. What else we got going on tonight?
I've got something. Did any of you, either of you, watch any of the trial of the guy? Where was it? Wisconsin.
Oh,
ran through the crowd.
Yeah.
Oh God! I watched some of that and laughed my butt off. Dude,
I couldn't bring myself to watch it. The guy was guilty as fuck, and it was just
Well, it was hilarious because he was defending himself, and in jail, someone convinced him that he was one of those. What do they call it? Something citizen.
Sovereign citizen.
Sovereign citizen. And it was just hilarious. Oh, it was so bad.
Over on the Rumble, Nobody Not Me, it said the House has delegated its responsibility to the bureaucrats. Yeah, I find it difficult to figure out what the House does other than mostly green stamp bills that originate in the Senate anyway. I really don't know what they do. Why we have them anymore. I know what they're supposed to be for, but I can't tell you what they're actually for. I want to put this up on the screen because it made me laugh and it's so true. It's a little meme, and it starts out with two women talking to each other, and the first one says, "I'm fat," and the other says, "No, honey, you're beautiful." And then does two guys. The guy says, "I'm fat," and the other guy says, "I know 5 fat men, and you're 4 of them."
Yep.
Accurate,
because that's how men treat each other.
Yep.
Meanwhile, women will lie right to their face. Like, no, you're not fat. No, come on, you're so cute.
You're just fluffy.
Oh, I learned very early on when my wife said, "Do these pants make my butt look fat?" to excuse myself. There was some emergency somewhere.
Let's see what else we got going on. Caroline's Comedy Club is shut down in New York City, which is not surprising since they've killed comedy.
Yeah.
I mean, part of it is the economy, let's be honest. Bars tend to do well when the economy turns down. Comedy clubs, not so much. You would think so. You'd think people would be going there to be happier, but no, they just want to get drunk and depressed.
Obviously.
So yeah, Caroline's is closing down. It's been in its current location. I want to say it moved there like in 2004. It might have been 94. I'm confusing dates. But yeah, they just have to shut down. More death of comedy. Yay. That'll help the world.
Yeah.
Don't care about that. Don't care about that. Excuse me. All right. I don't know if I even want to talk about that. We'll skip that. Trump's company was found guilty of tax fraud.
Shocker.
Uh-huh.
There's absolutely no implication that Donald Trump was involved in this in any way.
It doesn't matter.
But this is the one that we talked about a couple of years ago at this point when it first broke. They were giving executives incentives that were not on the books. They were, instead of, hey, here's an extra $50,000, like, hey, here's a company condo. And they weren't writing the taxes off on it. So they got found guilty of, I think it was 17 different fraud charges, which comes with a price tag of 1.6 million. That they're going to get a fine, that slap on the hand, the end. The one guy who was involved ended up going to jail, but nobody else is. So is what it is. Thank you, Ministry of Wrong. Thank you guys. Talk about the FBI starting 3 simultaneous investigations against Elon. I didn't know they had.
Yeah, there's one for his new implant thing. Because something about animal testing. I didn't get a chance to really look at the articles. And then there's a couple over some other nonsense. It's just a way to get at him.
Yeah.
We didn't talk about this the other day. Tim Pool's house got shot at.
I think it was one of his security guys that fired.
Not surprised, but
one of his properties got broken into.
Could y'all just leave Tim Pool alone? I don't understand why he's getting so much attention. And how do I say? I don't want that this negative kind of attention, this shit going on other people. But if you told me that this happened to, say, Ethan Ralph, I'd be like, yeah, that sounds right. It shouldn't happen, but I get it.
Yeah.
Tim Pool?
Well, apparently maybe his house is on a disputed property fence.
I guess.
Because he's always on the fence. So maybe it just rests there and they're two people trying to get at each other and he's in the way. I don't know. It's fucking waste of time. He's so milquetoast.
Well, in my neighborhood, it's a common occurrence, so you wouldn't even think twice about it.
I just don't understand why the attention on him.
Apparently, somebody told me that he read my comment out on his show.
Which comment?
He said his tweet was, got swatted again. Law enforcement doesn't exist in this country anymore. Private security or nothing. And I wrote, if they don't exist, how were you swatted? I thought that was hilarious.
That is funny.
Some people thought I was serious.
Oh, God.
Whatever.
It's a sign of civil war, monk. I guess so.
Obviously.
I just look, he is such a milquetoast piece of shit. And I shouldn't call him a piece of shit. He's a milquetoast piece of shit. There are so many other more persuasive people. There's so many other more fundamentalist. There's so many more extreme than him. I don't understand. What is the point of doing that to Tim Pool? I have a feeling if this is real, it's his brother.
That would not surprise me.
Because it doesn't make sense any other way. It's not like he, pissed off the Keffels crowd the way that Rekieta did when he got swatted repeatedly.
I think, you got a brother like Billy Carter?
him and his brother got into a dispute over ownership of the company that Tim Pool makes money from. A big
I'm
dispute.
probably the only one here old enough to remember Billy Carter.
I know who Billy Carter was. No, this isn't a Roger Clinton, Billy Carter kind of thing. This is family going into business with each other, which, unless you have specific contracts, is a bad idea. But yeah, I just don't understand why him. Anyway, in one of the dumbest stories I've read over the last couple of days, guys, I wish I was making this up. Shark Week lacks diversity. Overrepresented men named Mike, scientists say.
What?
Yeah, it's a true thing. The experts on Shark Week are overwhelmingly white and overwhelmingly named Mike.
Well,
Because Michael's a very common name.
I mean, look, I love to watch video, people play video games. And there's very few black people playing scary video games that are not going to go hunting sharks. I'm sorry.
But yeah, for some reason, not only did they break this down by too many white men, which they do in the story, there are also too many of them named Mike. Apparently, it would have been better if they had different first names.
Yeah,
now
only
my guess
named Alfonso from now on.
My guess would be that a lot of it is Mike Rowe, him, doing voiceovers.
Yeah.
But Shark Week's been going on for like 30 fucking years. And this one woman in there, she says, I loved Shark Week. And I just noticed that there's no black women who become shark studiers. I forget, there's a name for it. And so how are little black kids supposed to realize that they can grow up to be this? Guess what she was? Yep.
White.
Despite all those mics on TV, she figured out that she could become a marine biologist who specializes in sharks. Huh. But too many mics. That's a real goddamn story in the Washington Post.
It was a slow news week.
My God. This is what they're talking about instead of talking about the Twitter files. Like, oh my God, look at all them mics. Them sons of bitches. All right, let's throw this into both chats for you if you want to read it. Shark Week needs pandas. Shark Week apparently needs Steves. Some Steves, maybe some Bobs. A Daquan or two.
No, not Steve. That doesn't mix well. You remember Steve, what's his name? The crocodile?
Irwin?
Yeah, Irwin. Yeah.
And yeah, he was fucking around in the water where he shouldn't have been.
Yeah.
Whoopsie. All right. Do I have anything else here? No. I think I'm pretty good. I mean, there's other stuff that I had, but that doesn't interest me all that much. There's a lot of things that I look, guys. If you want more monkey in your life, you really should follow my cousin on Twitter because I'm much more active over there. Frosted, thank you so much. Shark Week changed his name to Oh Hell No Week. Yes, indeed.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, well, I wouldn't.
She whines. Oh, look. They mostly only do stories about negative things with sharks. Well, yeah, because that's what's going to get people's attention. Nobody wants to see, oh, look how nice and gentle the sharks are. I want to see a shark take a baby seal, throw that fucker in the air, jump up and catch it, and suddenly there's blood everywhere. I'm not actually watching Shark Week to find out anything educational about sharks. I want to see them destroy shit. Thank you, Keldrig. There aren't any black people in Shark Week because, unlike white people, they're smart enough to stay away from sharks. Well, apparently not the women, because there's a few of them in that article. But yeah, nobody. Okay, look, guys. With the exception of when they're obviously pushing a narrative, right? Hollywood, any kind of entertainment industry, They're basically doing the same thing that everybody does on YouTube. If something becomes popular, they're going to repeat it, whether it's their own stuff or somebody else's stuff. And they noticed in Shark Week, nobody gave much of a damn of look at how gentle these creatures are, because nobody cares about that. But I got my egg or my leg bitten off by a shark, but I lived by punching it in the dick. That is going to get a lot of viewers. And so they're going to make a lot of that program. Just saying. Monkey, you described with the seal is what orcas do. I know, it's why I like watching orcas. You guys ever see orcas play with seals?
Yeah. It play with is the right term. They play ball.
Yeah.
They throw those fuckers like 100 feet in the air and they just spin. I fucking love watching it. That shit is funny as hell. But I'd still like to see a shark do it. Sharks will toss stuff around and they might not catch them because they don't move as well as an orca does, but they will throw them up in the air. It's funny as shit. It's sickening and nature is brutal. I mean, yeah, I suppose it's sickening if you're a pacifist kind of person who doesn't. I don't. It's not that I enjoy the seal's pain, right? But I do understand that it's, the nature of life. That's just how shit happens. I'm not wrong on that, am I?
I don't know. I don't know how sharks work.
They throw the little seals around. They got to eat too.
One thing I know about sharks is Jaws.
Ever watch a snake eat? Yes, it's fucking gross. And I don't like snakes. You were about to say the F word, weren't you, Monk? Probably. Every time I say a word, there is a 50% chance it's going to be fuck. If you're talking about the other F word, no. I am very, very careful about not saying it here. And it wasn't even in my wheelhouse. All right, Jack, I have a Tucker video on my screen here.
Oh, hang on. Jump to the third link. That's actually the beginning of this.
Aw.
All three of these are related.
Okay. 2 more police. That one?
There's only 3 Twitter links.
The third Twitter link. Okay.
Yeah.
I thought you said just third link.
Sorry, my bad. I'm really tired today.
No, that's all right, man. It's all right. Okay. When is this from? Do you know?
I think it's today, but I'm not sure.
Let me see. I wonder if we can find just the YouTube video of it.
I don't know. I looked and couldn't find it, and then I gave up because I got distracted by shiny things.
Oh, that's fine.
And by shiny things, I mean hot Asians. So you know how this works.
Oh, you know what? Before it's over. Today is 12/7, Jack. You know 12/7 is, right?
Day which will live in infamy.
Today is the day that will live in infamy for history, because this is Pearl Harbor Day.
It's also
But for
my
me, Jack,
brother-in-law's birthday.
today it is the day I became a dad.
Oh.
Today is my eldest child's birthday. Munchkin, I love you. Happy birthday.
Are we singing happy birthday to Munchkin?
I did it already on Snapchat to her, so it was funny. My wife sends me messages to remind me of dates because I forget a lot of them.
Yeah, it happens.
But she sent me one. Don't forget, it's daughter's birthday. I'm like, you think I would forget that?
She was like, yes.
No, my children's birthdays are etched into my skull. Yeah.
Well,
why did Munchkin?
Happy birthday, Munchkin, and don't bomb Pearl Harbor.
Why did Munchkin bomb Pearl Harbor? She gets testy sometimes. Okay, she gets testy sometimes.
No, that was my mother-in-law because it's her birthday today too, and she bombed Pearl Harbor. She was actually born on that exact date.
Oh wow!
Wow. Chicks are angry. What can we say?
My life changed that day for the better, and I love that child more than I could tell you.
Were you in the room for it, Buck?
I was there both for the conception and the delivery.
Oh,
wow. Way to see it through.
Yeah. You got to be there for both or it doesn't count, guys.
Yeah, exactly.
But yeah, I just, that is the day I learned that you actually can cry tears of joy.
Well, sure. That's why I asked, because I was there for all three of mine, and those are experiences I wouldn't trade for anything.
I held her for the first time, and I'd heard the concept
I haven't been there for any.
Of happy tears, but never experienced it till that moment. So, what? I don't understand what you're saying, Sean. Anyway, I'm still looking for that Tucker Carlson thing. Nope, that's the laptop story. All right. I just hate watching it on Twitter if we have a chance to watch it on YouTube.
I know.
And it's only because on YouTube we don't end up, if I pause too many times and have to go backwards, it can freeze up on Twitter. So if that happens, fucking Twitter. Anyway. Hey, Elon, how about fixing that shit? Make your video better. Elon has said when he first gets over there to Twitter, he wants to make Twitter a video platform. And you know what? I will make videos on your platform if you fix the fucking video.
Yeah.
Because your video's shit. Anyway. Oh, wait, I got to make sure I shared. I'm positive I shared audio, but it's better to just check and make sure. There we go.
So a few days ago, a mother in New Jersey called Angela Redding found out that her child's elementary school was advertising something called pansexuality. And she thought this seems a little much for an elementary school, so she...
What? Okay. All right. It's an elementary school, so they don't really need to be talking about sexuality at all. But why are you doing one that belongs in Lord of the Rings? This shit is made up. You're gay or bisexual. Those are your choices.
No.
Or heterosexual.
Frying pans are real love now.
I'm pansexual. Look how special I am. Yeah, you're special because you're retarded for saying that.
Complained about it on Facebook. What happened next didn't used to happen in this country and never should. And we only know about it because of a Substack called Chaos and Control, which broke the story. And as we read it, we thought this can't be real, but it is. So in response to Angela Redding's post, out of the blue, an Army officer at Joint Base MDL, it's a nearby military base, called Angela Redding an extremist on Facebook. That officer is called Lieutenant Colonel Christopher Schilling. Schilling then wrote on Facebook that, quote, the Joint Base leadership have had the security forces working with multiple state and local law enforcement agencies to monitor this situation.
What?
Now you understand why I brought this to the table today.
Okay. I have to step away for just a second. Not related to this. But before I go, I just want to say, what? Am I understanding that the military is getting involved with a mom who's upset that they're teaching pansexuality to children in elementary school?
Yep.
All right.
Yep. A lieutenant colonel.
Jack, could you talk to the people for just a moment?
Sure. So, this is the natural extension of what happens when you try to use the Patriot Act to go after parents at school board meetings. Soon everybody wants to do a little power grab. Fucking disgusting. The fact that that this went anywhere. I mean, okay, if the guy wants to say some comment on his own time, but the fact that they're claiming they had multiple state and local law enforcement agencies monitoring the situation, that should terrify all of you. How are those recruitment quotas going, right? So how you really feeling, Bloodwing? You doing okay?
Oh yeah, I'm doing all right. I mean, there's a lot of pain. I'm hurting right now, and phantom pain is for real, people. You hear about it, but it's real.
Oh yeah, yeah.
I know my toe's not there, but it hurts like a son of a gun.
They give you anything for the pain?
Gabapentin for the nerve pain, but they weren't allowed to send home narcotics, so
boo.
That's against the law. I might sell it.
Oh yeah. Wow.
With the OxyContin hook, trust me, when I was in the hospital, I was hitting it up every time it was wore off. Hit me.
Oh, I imagine.
Hit me again. Whoopee!
Yeah, I'd turn into like a real serial killer with Oxycontin or Vicodin. Like, I do not see other people's humans. It's really disturbing.
Oh, I just don't give a crap. It doesn't necessarily stop the pain. I just don't give a crap.
Yeah. Yeah, I get that way too, and I get really sleepy with Oxycontin, but it also like shuts off some part of my brain where I empathize with people very much, and they start looking, especially Vicodin, they start looking like cardboard cutouts, and that scares me. I don't like messing with that stuff.
Yeah, but the only thing that scares me is I don't have cancer, by the way, but I'm taking a cancer medication.
Oh yeah.
Very dangerous cancer medication that actually
Oh.
comes in a bag that says dangerous drug on the outside.
Wow.
Because my platelets were really low and they can't figure out why, so they're just throwing stuff at the wall to see what sticks. But
Is that what they did with your toe?
yeah, yeah. But it's a drug called, what is it called? Vonjo, and I have to actually wash my hands after I take it so that I don't accidentally wipe it off on my grandchildren or whatever. It's that dangerous.
Damn.
Wow.
Yeah. So that's a little scary for me, but other than that, it's just pain. The incision from my ankle to my crotch makes my skin tight, and so every time I move my leg, it's just like ah. It's a split.
Okay.
I had 53 staples, and I felt every one of them when they pulled them.
They should have just given you a zipper just in case.
Yeah. No, all they
Let's
give me
get back
is
to
the cream. But yeah, let's get back to
the military here being improperly used. Was this school on a military base?
No. This is just a nearby base where this guy works.
All right. For those of you just joining us, a lady on Facebook complained that her kid's elementary school was doing pansexual education, and a lieutenant colonel from a nearby joint base decided that they're going to monitor the situation, which that's some scary shit.
They're coordinating the military with multiple state and local law enforcement agencies. Multiple, not just the military. He's got it more broad reaching than that because this is terrorism, you know.
What?
That's exactly what I said.
So the military responded to a mom in an elementary school complaining about the sexualization of her own child? That's warranted a military response under Joe Biden, apparently?
Yeah, by the way, the military should not be involved in any of that shit.
Nope. This is civilian stuff. They should have nothing to do with this.
And this should be, when you're in uniform and stuff, there's political things that you can't say. This is political. Thank you. This is Kyle. Wow, my sister 10 is dark. She just told me a joke. What's the difference between me and cancer? My dad didn't beat cancer. I'm so proud and shocked at the same time. That's one of my favorite jokes. Yeah. My dad didn't beat cancer. All right. That's a horrible joke, but it's funny. I can actually
tell worse, monkey.
Well, I've told much worse. I could actually put myself in that joke because my mom used to beat me. I was spankings, but by today's standards. And she didn't beat cancer, so now I'm sad. Back to Tucker.
No, he did. Then shortly after, the chief of the North Hanover Police Department, Robert Duff, pressured Redding to delete her Facebook post.
What?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, all right.
Let that sink in. The police and the military got involved because a mom wrote something on Facebook they didn't like.
I don't care if she had a full page worth of nothing but racial slurs. the police and military shouldn't be involved
No,
at all.
no.
Well, we saw this coming a while ago, that it was only a matter of time before they started weaponizing the military against citizens. This all stems from the Patriot Act. They've got all these oversight powers over us, and when they weaponized like the FBI to look into using the Patriot Act against people speaking out at school boards, this is honestly the next logical step. This is incredibly fascistic. I don't know any other way to describe it, because this is exactly what commies and the Nazis did.
Pat says, "Bruh, the gays are becoming tyrannical." LMAO. No, it is. I don't even know what to call it. They're activists, but I'm not sure what label to put on them. The alphabet activist. That's who does this shit.
The Velvet Mafia.
Yeah, it's not fair to put it on gay people. Because there's a lot of gay people who are looking at this shit going, what the fuck is going on?
Because they know the pushback's going to come on them.
Yeah. Well, not even that. I mean, they're also, some of them have common sense, Jack.
Today,
yeah.
Joint Base MDL confirmed to the show that they, quote, notified law enforcement about the social media exchange, which...
Why?
So that they could get the local cop to tell her to take it down, or else.
Unless she was threatening somebody, it's none of their fucking business.
Nope.
In fact, it's illegal.
Look, she was being a bigot, Monkey, which is worse, because that's hate speech, and that hurts people's souls. It puts paper cuts on their soul.
That Trump's illegal.
She should be able to sue the ever-living fuck out of them for a civil rights violation.
Yep, but she's not going to be able to. She should be able to sue the police chief and the fucking military base for this crap. But the fact that we have so many wokies infiltrating the military and they're doing this shit, this is disgusting. I was so enraged when I saw this.
Yeah, I'm getting worse as this goes on.
Oh, we're only on part one. This is a three-part thing.
Which is common information sharing practice among law enforcement agencies.
When it's a law enforcement issue, which this isn't.
Hate speech is, Monkey. You hurt somebody's feelings. Paper cuts to the soul. You are creating trauma because of mean words.
Generational DNA trauma.
Yeah.
Except, wait a second, a military base is not a, quote, law enforcement agency. The purpose of the military is to defend us from foreign enemies, not to police our Facebook posts.
Yeah, if you're talking about law enforcement sharing in that way, I mean, I guess if the military sees something, maybe you would be talking more about the MPs and like, okay, we know this guy's in the area, keep an eye out for him. That's information sharing.
Yeah. Not, hey, this rando soccer mom is saying mean things we don't like.
Because using the military as a police force doesn't necessarily always work out well. Kent State. So, grief.
This is mind-boggling, and we pray someone does something about it.
Yeah,
well, here's one of those times that I'm going to say it. I don't need your prayers here. I need some actual. I need something done. I need Congress involved. I need the Joint Chiefs involved. I need people who can actually make this shit stop.
Good luck with that.
All right, which one? Part 2 is the second one?
No, part 2 is the first link I gave you.
Okay, all right. Just making sure I'm getting the right one.
Yeah, I just forgot to include part 1 when I gave you the links.
No, that's cool. That's cool.
Got a lot of context.
Make sure I share my audio there. All right.
Angela Redding is the mother who wrote that Facebook post that the military shut down. She joins us tonight. Angela, thank you so much for being brave enough to come on. Were you a little surprised that the U.S. military weighed in on your Facebook post?
Yes.
She looks like Mama Cass.
She does. She's a handsome woman. I can't imagine. I can't imagine anything I would write on social media and not be shocked that the fucking military chimed in.
Yeah, I mean, you should be able to say whatever you want, and no matter how vile, like wiping your ass with the flag while flipping off a bunch of military guys. We're supposed to have those rights. It's vile and disgusting, but you have a right to do it. You have a right to be an asshole.
Yeah, and look, in that kind of case, if somebody came out and said we support our troops, that kind of stuff, that's one thing. We sent your name to law enforcement is the wrong answer to that.
Yeah.
All right.
I was more than surprised. I was scared. I actually pulled my kids from school the day
Yeah, no shit. That's a good point. I hadn't even thought about that yet. That's scary.
Yeah, it should be scary too, and that's the point. Is intimidation. They intimidated her into taking the post down. They called the fucking police chief like she's a fucking fugitive. This is really dangerous stuff because, oh my God, I bet her social credit score is going down too. Oh, you wrong thing against the government. We're going to have to take you into your camp. Sorry, you need to be re-educated.
I need to start this part by saying, do not do this. Do not, nobody do anything that I'm about to say because I've said it. If you do anything, it's on you. This is the kind of stuff that makes me want to find the people involved and troll the fuck out of them.
Yeah, but then you end up on a terrorist watch list or end up getting renditioned into Gitmo. This lady had every reason to be afraid.
I hear you, but I mean, it would be a lot of fun.
But they go looking into my past. I'm in trouble.
My past is clean, so bring it on. All you're going to find is a cripple who sits at home all day. All right.
I found out. It was mind-boggling, and I was worried for them. When the U.S. military comes after you for simply raising concern about a public poster that is widely available for all to see.
I figured it out. Mm-hmm. You see, Jack, they wanted to actually go do military things, but we gave all of our weapons to Ukraine, so they had to find a different way to spend their time.
They may have thought that she was an aid worker carrying water home.
Yeah.
So
they might have seen her with drone footage and she had a bottle of water and they're like, that looks like bombs.
Right.
It says DeSanti. I don't know what that means.
Obviously the head of a local cell.
It's just, it's mind-boggling, as you said.
It is.
And just to be clear, you weren't threatening war. You didn't threaten to use nuclear weapons against the school, correct?
No, actually.
I just want to point out, these are all kid-drawn things up here.
Yeah. Her kids in elementary school.
Having the elementary school kids draw their pride stuff. Man, when I was in school, we didn't worry about shit like that. I don't know why it's a thing now. I really don't.
We all know.
Yeah, okay, we do. But I don't know how we got here, I guess is a better way to say it. You would think common sense at some point would prevail.
You would think so, but here we are.
Actually, my post was really moderate. It essentially said that I didn't think my 7-year-old was age appropriate to be exposed to words such as polysexual and pansexual. I said that all people are deserving of love and respect. That my post was very explicit about that, and still it prompted this response, and it is really scary. That
something like everyone belongs is actually a bad statement. I don't know if you guys know this, but that would include pedophiles and Hitler.
Yep.
Well, some people deserve love from wood chippers.
It's one of those stupid fucking sayings that people say without ever putting thought into what it actually means because it sounds sweet.
Well, it's a virtue signal. You know, it's part of that like invocation ceremony at some cult gathering. I must say this to be accepted into the collective, so you'll hear me out.
On this, where's the child murderer flag?
I don't know. It's not very inclusive.
Well, yeah, no shit. Where's everybody belongs? I hate that kind of stupid mentality. I really do.
Real quick, thank you, Cryptic. Since Bloodwing is back, I think we can complete the Fellowship of the Ring group. Mickey is Mr. Frodo, Bloodwing is Gandalf, and Al could be Samwise. Oh, well.
I've got the beard for it.
I'm calling dibs on Aragorn then.
What? That make me the gay little elf guy?
I
mean, he was cool in the movies.
Hobbits.
Well, no, I don't want to be a hobbit.
You could be Gimli, the dwarf.
I can't be a dwarf. I'm too tall.
You're a really tall dwarf.
I think that's an oxymoron.
You're like the world's tallest midget.
It's an oxymoron, like a teacher who doesn't touch kids.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. All right, let's move along. I'm sorry.
Country, we can't have a right to speak and raise concerns that about our public education system.
Her kid's 7.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
You live in an area with a lot of military families. I know. I think your children's school has a lot of military families in it. I mean, you and I doubtless you respect the military because almost all Americans do. Did you know that they're reading your Facebook posts?
I did not, and I actually want to be really.
How the fuck did a lieutenant colonel come across some rando chick's Facebook post?
She posted this in a group like a group page.
Okay.
Otherwise, I think maybe the military is monitoring Facebook for wrong thing. That's the only thing I can think of.
Yeah.
Explicit. I believe.
Hang on, real quick. Thank you, Wood Chipper. Why do you give me your filthiest groomers, Jack? Something to do. Good for you, builds character.
It's your fault. You just do such a good job.
Yeah.
See Fargo if you guys don't understand that.
Believe that our military personnel deserves the utmost love, admiration, and respect.
Yes.
I'm a daughter.
Partially, but that is not a shield against all kinds of horribles.
Yeah, I'm losing a lot of respect for the military for this one.
I have respect for people who go in, but that does not mean that they never ever. I've seen it used as a shield for everything.
Black Rifle Coffee.
It's like, no, we were in the military, so you can't ever say anything bad about me. I'm not saying anything bad about your military service. I'm saying something bad about you as a fucking person, like this lieutenant colonel. Thank you for the actual service you give, but this was fucked up, and you're an asshole. Go fuck yourself. Thank you, John Arnett. On cripple or one cripple to another, buddy. I appreciate it. All right.
Of a veteran.
I love Tucker's confused face. It looks like he's got a poop.
Yeah, it does. Like he looks mystified, like when the dog sees something it's never seen before. Like, what is that vacuum cleaner thing?
It looks like he thought he was gonna fart and something else popped out. He had a little shart. Wait, what? Okay.
I live in a community with the military, and these are phenomenal families. Our school district is phenomenal. The teachers in our school district are phenomenal.
Got to disagree with you. I know you're trying to be all nice and stuff here, but your teachers are the reason that shit was up.
Yeah. They started the whole thing.
Your school district is the reason that shit was up. See, this is what I've talked about before, guys, where this kind of shit happens because people are nice. Like, I even said in my post that I believe that everybody should have love and everything, and the whole community is great and the whole school's. No, at some point you have to go, fuck them.
Yeah, you have to draw a line somewhere or you're always going to get walked on.
Because instead, all we see is this slow progression as nice people. But look, I didn't want to hurt anybody's feelings.
Yep.
Fuck them. How about that? Fuck them right in their feelings.
I think this is a rogue actor, a bad faith actor, and
I don't.
I don't either. You think it's a bad faith actor? Didn't he call somebody and somebody else came to you? That's at least 2 people.
Yeah, he probably ran it up the chain of command too to get permission to call the cops on her. I mean, the police chief talked to her, not just some like patrol officer, the actual police chief.
And what rank was he again?
Lieutenant Colonel.
Yeah, that's not high enough up the chain to.
He could have been the one who, I mean, that might be within his purview. It depends on, what part of the military he's acting in.
Yeah.
But it concerns me more that he is a lieutenant colonel and he was spending his time doing this.
You would think he'd have better things to be thinking about and
Shit.
do.
When my dad was in the Navy, he was a senior chief when he was on the ship. And in the event that they had any free time, they had golf on a computer that they played. Get this motherfucker Tiger Woods' latest game. He got too much time on his hands. All right.
I don't think that we need to implicate the entire population.
Yes,
But
well, not all
I
of them.
did not think that the military.
You know what? Stop. I'm sorry. I don't mean to keep doing this. She blames it on a single rogue actor and says, we don't have to blame the entire population. No, you don't have to blame the entire population. But how about the ones who are responsible for this shit happening?
Yeah.
No, it's just a rogue actor. Fuck off. Lady, I understand. You're just trying to be nice. Stop being nice. Because, you know, there's an old saying, don't mistake kindness for weakness. But in this case, your kindness is weakness, and it's showing. And it's going to allow this shit to keep going. That would be problematic. Tiger Woods is cis. Not only is he cis, he's a pussy slayer.
Was monitoring mom's Facebook post. No, I did not.
No, and you would hope that Lieutenant Colonel Schilling would be removed from his command tonight, and we'll be seeing if he is. What was the role of the police chief? Can you just tell us that quickly?
Yeah, so I actually got a call from the admin of the Facebook group. Again, this is kind of ridiculous.
Okay, time out. Real quick, Ebony asked what this clip is about. This lady right here wrote a post on Facebook saying that her 7-year-old son, she didn't think he should be exposed to things like pan and transsexual and polysexual. And a lieutenant colonel of, I'm guessing the United States Army, saw it and said that the joint base, the entire military base, was looking into this, and they referred it to law enforcement. Several law enforcement agencies.
Yeah, they were coordinating with multiple state and local law enforcement.
And she doesn't live on base or is not part of the military in any way, right?
Correct. She is not.
We're talking about this. It's a parents group that I posted on. I got a call from the admin of the Facebook group saying that the police chief contacted her to say that my post should come down.
Whoa, that's different than what I thought we were talking about. Wow. Now, if the police chief had reached out to her directly and said that, that's bad. Him reaching out to somebody else, the government reaching out to somebody else to tell them to take down what she said. Yeah, sweetheart, you should be suing.
Yeah, that's a total First Amendment violation. But from what she said earlier, it sounds like the police chief did talk to her as well.
Yeah, so, and that might come up here, but this is new to what we'd heard so far.
Yeah.
Yeah. Wow. This is almost the Twitter shit we've been seeing, you know, and the Facebook stuff with Zuckerberg said, yeah, we were told that this was misinformation from the FBI. This isn't that far off from that, except for it's got the backing of the United States military. For fuck's sake. The fuck world did I wake up in?
I don't know, dude.
And she said, what do you think? I said, well, I don't want Homeland Security coming after me. Take the post down. Like, I don't want to be dealing with this. So I agreed that the post could come down. I then contacted the police chief directly and reminded him of the First Amendment.
You should have left it up and then called him and reminded him of the First Amendment.
You Fuck that. Her lawyer should have reminded him of the First Amendment.
Don't make me take it down.
You shot yourself in the foot here. Oh, God.
And that we shouldn't be utilizing government resources and our positions to pressure individuals to take down Facebook posts. And I also, shared with him the post that he had already seen. There was nothing wrong. It didn't violate any law. It didn't violate any Facebook rule whatsoever. So that's how that all happened. And, we're here today.
I hope Chief Huff is relieved of his post immediately too, because that's I've never heard anything like this, and I hope I never hear it again.
It's a blatant violation of the First Amendment. Like, seriously, you cannot get more blatant. I mean, I suppose they could have shot her for it.
Well, they might still arrest her. You never know. Maybe this is some sort of threat to national security, and they'll use it as a veiled reason to take her into custody to intimidate her further. Because now she went on a national TV show and called them all out.
Nobody Not Me says lawsuit. Yeah, no shit. I am trying to pay attention to both chats. I really am, but it's a lot harder when we're watching video. I need that third screen, Jack.
I know. I keep telling you.
That's an after Christmas kind of thing.
And here I am with just one screen.
Well, I need 3 because we're dual streaming and trying to do video. And anyway,
What was the role of the police chief? Can you just tell us that quickly?
oh, this is the
Yeah,
same one.
so I actually got a call from
Let's.
the admin of the Facebook group. Again, this is kind of ridiculous. We're talking about this. It's a parents group that I posted
This
on.
might be
I got
just
a
the
call
end of
from the
that last
admin
one.
of Facebook group saying that the police chief contacted her to say that my post should come down.
Sue.
And she said, "What do you think?" I said, well,
Ladies and gentlemen, I don't mean to stop this here, but I can't help myself. You can watch things like Audit the Audit, or you can, talk to people like us. Do not allow the police to bullshit you about things like the First Amendment. When they do something blatantly illegal like this, she's not, it's not like one of those ones, Jack, where she's arguing with them when there's a gun at her.
Yeah.
Call them up. Tell them to get fucked. Tell them to go fuck themselves.
And one of the most important things you could do is if you have a landline still, record all your phone calls.
Yeah, there's lots of ways to record phone calls.
Yeah. If you're in a first person state.
But don't let them get away with this.
Check your local laws.
Check your local laws, of course. Well, if I remember correctly, all of those laws, there's an exemption if you're dealing in an official manner with government.
Oh, that doesn't stop the government from breaking the law. They violated our First Amendment. You think they won't try and arrest her for that?
No, I get you. But, and look, not everybody's as rebellious as I am, but seriously, don't let them get away with bullshit like this. This angers me. You guys know how I am with the First Amendment. There's nothing more important than your ability to speak. And I know some of you are like, no, we need the gun. I hear you, but they can take that with just words, and we've seen it over and over again. Anyway.
well, I don't want Homeland Security coming after me. Take the post down. Like, I don't want to be dealing with this. So I agreed that the post could come down. I then contacted the police chief directly and reminded him of the First Amendment and that we shouldn't be utilizing government resources and our positions to pressure individuals to take down Facebook posts. And I also, shared with him the post that he had already seen. There was nothing wrong. It didn't violate any law. It didn't violate any Facebook rule whatsoever. So that's how that all happened. And, we're here today.
I just realized I'm making the same face as Tucker. As I'm watching, my brow is furrowed. Am I really hearing this?
I hope Chief Huff is relieved of his post immediately too, because that's I've never heard anything like this, and I hope I never hear it again.
Absolutely, both of those men need fired
and sued.
Yeah, and in addition to that, the county needs to be sued. The sheriff's office needs to be sued. And you're not going to be successful, but you should try suing the Navy, or sorry, not Navy, the Navy brat. Sorry, guys. Suing the Army, because I'm fairly certain that that's an Army rank.
I think it's an Army, but it's a joint base, so they might have other groups there too. But
I'm
pretty sure this guy's Army.
Doesn't the Air Force use the lieutenant colonel system or the lieutenant colonel rank too?
I don't know.
Yes.
Yeah, I think that
their rank system is very close to the Army.
Yeah. So anyway, that's what's going on in your world, guys.
You're welcome.
Men and women who are supposed to be out there protecting you are harassing mothers online, contacting state and local law enforcement because she made a post they didn't like, saying that her 7-year-old really shouldn't be exposed to this kind of information.
Because she didn't want her kid to learn about Pansexuality Day.
What a horrible bitch.
She's a monster, clearly.
We need to send in the SEALs.
A threat to national security.
Yeah, they're going to send a SWAT team after her like they did Roger Stone.
Well, we saw with the stuff going on in Loudoun County where they're like, we need the DOJ to come in here and check these people out for terrorism because they actually care about their kids' school and their kids being ass raped. Sorry, got to add that in when we're talking about Loudoun County.
Yeah.
Isn't it funny that they think you're a terrorist if you don't think your child should be ass raped? Says a lot, doesn't it?
Mm-hmm. It really does.
I hate these fucking people.
Well, we got them in positions of power in the military, so it's going to get a lot worse before it gets better.
Yep. And hopefully, because it was on Tucker, it'll get some attention. And
I think they're gonna go after her harder. They're gonna double down like these people always do, and they're gonna try and find something to charge her with.
I wouldn't be surprised. I really wouldn't. All right, this next one looks like an update to stories we've talked about before.
Yes.
2 more police centers run by Chinese authorities found in Canada, according to a report. Well, sure, why not?
I was talking about this on my stream this morning, and how nobody's doing anything about these police stations. And then I found this article right after I ended the stream.
Yeah, we talked about it on this show
It's been
months ago.
Yeah.
Where these Chinese police stations are popping up all over the world. Was there one in the United States? I can't remember.
There's one in New York and supposedly one in Tampa, but that one hasn't been confirmed.
There you go.
But yeah, they know of at least 102 of these in other countries.
The Human Rights Organization says it found dozens of additional overseas Japanese police service centers, that's in quotes, around the world, including at least 2 more in Canada.
They're Chinese, not Japanese.
What's that? I'm sorry?
You said Japanese. They're Chinese.
Did I say Japanese?
Yeah, I mean, I know they all look alike, but come on, Monkey.
All right, let me restart that. A human rights organization says it found dozens of additional overseas Chinese police service centers around the world, including 2 more in Canada. In a new report released Monday called Patrol and Persuade, the Spain-based non-governmental organization Safeguard Defenders says it used open-source statements from People's Republic of China authorities, Chinese police, and state media to document at least 48 additional stations. This is on top of 54 stations revealed in September. God, was it that long ago?
Probably.
Bringing the total number of documented centers to 102 in 53 countries. Some countries also have cooperated in setting up these centers, Safeguard Defenders say. Now, what we heard last time, I can read through it a little bit, but these are supposedly watching their citizens. Sure, that's what they're doing.
Oh, well, it might be to multi-purpose, a little bit of spying here and there, and then to rendition their people back to the homeland for wrong think or to extract spies. Who knows?
It's totally not to send ugly Chinese women to go fuck Eric Swalwell, hoping he tells them something.
No.
Antennas on the roof are just to get better cable reception.
Yeah.
Yes,
that's just Wi-Fi. Look, it maybe, hypothetically, they could be like, look, if you don't go bang this dude and try and get information, 3 generations of your family are going to disappear. Hypothetically, that could happen. But do you really think the glorious communist regime would do that? Jeez, Monkey.
I would never suggest such a thing. I think they're just there to watch Paw Patrol.
Yes. Well, they say they're there to renew driver's licenses.
The stations are accused of targeting Chinese nationals living abroad, particularly those allegedly committed crimes in China, in order to coerce them to return home. If you were Chinese and you committed a felony over in China and you made it to America and these guys were like, come back to China, would you go?
No.
Fuck you. Y'all can kiss my Chinese ass. I'm American now. Okay. It's just me and my Uncle Sam. Uncle Sam. I can't even do a racist Chinese voice. I just can't do them.
Oh, Uncle Sam-san.
Uncle Sam. I'm trying to get better. I'm trying to get a good racist Chinese voice. That's not the way I should say that. A
No.
good imitation,
You eat too much. You go home now.
because imitation is the sincerest form of flattery.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And God forbid you piss off poo.
It's totally not for inappropriate jokes. I would never do that shit.
Yeah,
No.
you sicko.
Oh.
Oh, son of a bitch. Is this from Frosted?
What do you think? I, for one, will not blame Frosted for things that he's done.
Frosted, did you give us this article?
I've been
Monkey, they
sitting on this
arrest
for like 3 weeks, and we keep not getting to it.
Monkey, they arrest your family members in China. I hear it, but that's their fault for still being in China.
He's giving a thumbs up, Frosted is.
Why the right fight so hard to deny? I don't even want to say it.
Deny what, Monkey? Whatever would they be denying?
Completely made up bullshit that we have named stochastic terrorism.
Very good. Very good.
Fighting against reality itself. And for some reason, they show a bunch of people giving the power fist.
Yeah, because they're a bunch of communists.
Did they put the wrong picture in here?
I don't know. I think they're like, we need a photo to sexy this shit up.
Do they think these people are giving a Hitler salute?
No, it's solidarity. See that they're all like,
I
"Power
get
to
it.
people."
But given the nature of this article, I would figure that is not the right picture for that.
I would agree, but we're not talking about smart people, or they won't be writing stupid articles about this made-up bullshit.
All right. If there's anything that is demonstrable in the face of the right's response to the Club Q shooting, it's their attempts to deny and distance themselves from violence they caused.
Yeah, bigots.
All right. They seem to be both, on the one hand, proud that such a horrific massacre. Who in any way has been showing that they are proud that people got killed at Club Q?
I haven't seen that anywhere.
I haven't seen a single fucking one. Not even the usual trolls.
Yeah.
Hashtag, I'm not saying it didn't happen. But if it did, it was like one guy that you were like, see, I saw this guy. That means they're all like, fuck you. I'm sorry, where are we? On the one hand, proud that such a horrific massacre occurred. They gave us a link here. Let's see what that says. Watch it pop up and be the Daily Stormer, and I don't get to stream anymore. Tim Pool bravely coming out in support of the gunman. And this is Tim saying, we shouldn't tolerate pedophiles grooming kids. Club Q had a grooming event. How do you prevent the violence and stop the grooming? Look, Tim Pool's an idiot. And that was a bad tweet. I'll give him that.
Yeah, but it's still not a justification for the violence. He's not.
Yeah, he's not saying it was a good thing that there was violence.
Yeah.
While being equally sure to pretend they had nothing to do with it. So a tweet that happened after it caused it, huh?
Yeah, clearly. Because time is not linear, Monkey.
Yeah. Of course, anyone who has a familiarity with the concept of stochastic terrorism, for those of you who don't know, stochastic terrorism is the idea that I can say something on here and it's going to cause people to go out there and be violent, even though I didn't tell them to go be violent. It's a nonsense thing that they made up because they kept going, you guys are telling people to go kill people. And we went, no, we're not. And they went, oh, you're right. You're not. Stochastic terrorism. Anyway.
With rock and roll and video games causing violence.
Yeah.
That's true. That's true. Board games were thought to do that as well back in the early 1800s or late 1900s. Damn it. I can't fucking talk. You know what I mean? Shut up.
1980s.
You know what really causes stochastic terrorism?
What?
Women's periods when they get that devil in them.
Oh, that's true.
Yeah.
That might be true.
Anyway, anybody familiar with this? Go ahead.
Sorry to interrupt. Thank you, John. Why are you doing this stochastic terrorism against my nuggies? That's tortious interference and systemic racisms. I agree, John. But sometimes you need to learn your lessons, and you didn't bring enough nuggies for everyone, so we have to redistribute them.
Yeah, I just want to say that tweet or that donation was a fallacy.
That might be, yeah.
Gonna beat understatement to it tonight. Where are we on this stupid shit? Denial is one of the stages of the concept. So in this sense, what? So in this sense, it makes sense why they would go hard to avoid taking responsibility. I've talked about this phenomenon even before the shooting happened, as well as just recently, but I wanted to devote a specific piece here, going over exactly why they do this, as it will be helpful for understanding when you come across this dishonesty from them. I just want to point out again, and this is true, you can look it up. These assholes will demonize the fuck out of people. Say Tim Pool. That never causes stochastic terrorism, ever.
No, because they're the righteous ones. Monkey.
Indeed. Stochastic terrorism only ever applies to somebody like me who disagrees with somebody like this. See, what you guys aren't understanding right now is this is stochastic terrorism just by me reading it and making fun of this stupid motherfucker who wrote it. Is this a guy or a girl?
Would it matter?
I'm pretty sure there's a lieutenant colonel somewhere just ready to turn you
in. I don't want to, as I'm stochastically terrorizing these people, I don't want to misgender them too. It's a she. Reality isn't that difficult to understand why this happens. Or sorry, really, it isn't difficult to understand why this happens. As I said, it's one of the 4 stages of stochastic terror. In fact, denial is specifically the last stage after demonize, dehumanize, and desensitize. Denial usually comes after violence has already occurred, when the stochastic terrorist uses shady tactics to avoid taking responsibility for what their persistent rhetoric incites. Wow. Okay, I suppose so. Jordan, thank you so much. Stochastic is a mathematical term that is basically a synonym for random. The left abusing it is such a random word crime. It's considered stochastic terrorism against grammar. Well, they like to latch onto words that they don't actually understand.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I want to point this out. It's and they do use it. If you talk to them, what it means, it's random. But it's random because of specific things. What? No. You're just stupid. This is just a shield so that anything they say, you're not allowed to criticize it. We see this with what's going on with that James Baker guy over there at Twitter. It's like, you guys are just sending hate mobs after him. Do you understand what could happen to him? Nothing. Nothing's going to happen to him. Shut up. He did something stupid. He got caught doing something stupid. And then he got caught trying to cover it up after the fact when all the stuff was coming out. How is it that no matter what is written in the newspaper, that is never stochastic terrorism, no matter who they're destroying? That's fine. But if anybody...
that's fighting fascism, monkey.
Yeah, that's what it is. As you said, they're the righteous ones.
Yeah. Oh, real quick. Thank you, Ebony Williams. Never in my life would I have thought the First Amendment would be under attack. Super lefty LGBT activists have no place in our schools, law enforcement, or military. I am beyond pissed. Buy yourself something sweet to make me feel better. Thank you, Ebony. I will do that. I'm sorry. I know that one was enraging, but I had to put that in the queue today. I was livid when I saw it.
That was a really important story. The attacks on the First Amendment have been coming for a long, long time, and they just get worse and worse and worse. I didn't think we'd get to the point where I saw the military involved this way.
Right?
But it's not the first time we've seen the police involved this way.
No, it's not.
Sadly, no.
Tommy Robinson used to do this in an extremely blatant and brutish fashion to the point where people I'm not sure which way that typo is supposed to be. Where I think it's just supposed to be wherever. All right,
Wherever, whenever.
wherever people in the UK who were on the right made attempts to distance themselves from him. He would frequently refer to Muslim men as hordes or enemy combatants who seek to kill white residents of the UK, which is obviously an incitement to violence, and anyone who argues otherwise is lying.
Says the keeper of truth.
Did Tommy say that Muslims wanted to kill whites?
I don't think he specifically said that, but he mostly spoke out about the child sexual abuse stuff.
Yeah, that was the big one. I mean, he talked about refugees and stuff, but did he actually? Because if he didn't, and I'm not a Tommy Robinson scholar, I don't know a lot about the guy, but that does not sound like something he would say. He would be more sly about it.
Yeah, I don't know. I think she's just being disingenuous here.
But it's important because if he didn't say that, and she's like, if you deny it, then you're lying. Not if I deny it because you're lying.
Oh, look at your denial. That means it's true. My brother pulled this thing when I was a kid, and it reminds me of this perfectly. When we were little kids, my brother said to us, you know, you guys are adopted, and mom and dad will deny it, and that means it's true. He was like 5 at the time.
Good one.
Or 6 maybe. And that's the kind of thinking we're dealing with here. This is toddler thinking. This is baby brain magical thinking that, like, you know, I don't know. It's so disingenuous arguments with a bunch of half-baked facts and theories from left-wing media influencing their logic. It's so disingenuous.
Granted, it's not exactly widely known about. It's not a widely known about topic, and while this is changing, the right continues to deliberately misrepresent and misunderstand it for their own purpose. They're deliberately misunderstanding it. What?
They're deliberately misunderstanding stupidity.
How do you? Never mind. Never mind.
Real fast. Thank you, Jordan 250. I saw a movie about oxygen falling in love with potassium. It was okay. Science jokes.
People like Ben Shapiro, for instance, are trying to act as though stochastic terrorism means everyone who opposes the leftist social agenda are fundamentally evil. Are you going to give an example? Probably not. Naturally, as one would expect, this is not true, but it's not like Ben is above misrepresenting what people on the left think. But again, you are a shitty writer. If you're going to say something like that, you need to give an example. Notice there's not even a link in this one. No link for the Tommy Robinson thing. No link for the Ben Shapiro thing. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
I'm sorry. I stepped on you there. The notations, citations, and footnoting are all colonialist.
It's stochastic. Yes.
To enforce them would be stochastic terrorism. I don't know how you fucking say this word.
Stochastic. Fantastic terrorism.
Jurassic terrorism. Somebody put in chat.
Yeah, I saw that one. That was nice. But then again, this is the exact same pattern we're seeing with everybody on the right who tries to cover stochastic terrorism. Sorry, stochastic terror. They just give these absurd characterizations of it that do not in any way reflect on what the term actually means. You guys use it to mean that if I say I'm against trans story hour, that I'm telling people that I'm going to cause people to go out and shoot up a trans story hour. That's how you guys use it. Because you can't go, oh, he said to go do something horrible because I never did. That's how it's done. You're liars. The problem is we understand how you're using it. Not that we don't, you fucking douche. Even when they are confronted with the actual definition. You mean like feminism?
What is a woman?
Do you remember when they used to do that?
Yeah.
Do you even know the real definition of feminism? And the best answer was that to that was, do you?
or racism.
Yeah, because racism now, it's power plus privilege. Nope, that's not what it means.
Well, I mean, women is a subjective word, and anarchy plus anything is a thing now.
Feminism just means that you believe men and women should be equal. I do believe that, but that's not what feminism means now.
Yeah, no.
I think we should be equal under the law. Absolutely. I don't think women should get a pass on everything. I don't think you should believe all women because that's fucking retarded.
No, see, I'm convinced that women are now Schrodinger's woman. Some of them have
Some
a
of
wiener,
them.
some don't.
Some of them are. Colin Wright, for example, complained about how the dictionary has been infiltrated by the left. It has been.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because they posted a definition of stochastic terrorism. Others will complain about how it is seemingly only ever used to describe people on the right. Are you going to give an example of somebody on the left?
No.
They all right. Well, to that I have to response. Ugh. Well, to that I have to response. That was supposed to have a W in there, wasn't it?
You mean a patriarchal triple penis?
Well, to that I have two responses. All right. The main reason why it's mostly used to describe what the right does is that the right is the most guilty of it. Really? Well, you know what? Maybe, because they actually said go out into the streets. That's a little different. That's directly telling people to go cause terror. Ministry of Wrongthink, thank you so much. This is the evolution of dog whistle. It lets them imply literally anything you can say is hate just because it goes against their narrative. True. And most people who use it don't understand. She keeps talking about the right just doesn't understand it. No, I understand it. I do. You guys misuse it all the fucking time. That's it.
Look, a lot of these things are just to shut the conversation down. That they don't want to argue with you because they can't defend their position, or they're stupid and they smell bad, so they can't argue their point. So they just have to throw a word out at you to get you to shut up. It used to be racism, that's worn off, and now they're using this. Oh, that's stochastic terrorism.
They're the ones who slander all LGBT people as pedophiles. No. We'll see one person who quite honestly is like, I want to touch kids. And we go, that guy's a pedophile. And because he has a rainbow shirt on, you'll go, why are you calling all the gays pedophiles? You're the ones who do that. You're the ones who take it and be like, oh, they must be talking about all gays. And are now supporting the club. What the fuck? Are now supporting the Club Q shooter. They are guilty of this. Nobody's supporting the Club Q shooter. I hate the name of that fucking thing.
Yeah, I know.
It's hard to say.
Doesn't roll
can we
off.
just call it QAnon?
Oh my good God. Second, people on the left are generally much more open about what they want, even if it requires violence. Take communists, for example. Communists have never denied that they support a violent revolution to overthrow the ruling class, so this term isn't really applicable to them. What?
They're immune from it because, they're honest about wanting to murder people. So
They're on the left.
Let's talk about that for a moment. How many of the people in the communist hearings turned out to actually be communists? Wasn't it most of them?
Yeah, quite a few.
And they all denied it. Communists will even lie about being communists. What are you talking about, you stupid shit?
Yeah, they're democratic socialists.
You're making women look retarded right now. You understand that, right?
Well, shoes fitting.
Good night, anti-white. Thank you so much for the donation with no message. Appreciate it. This exact same thing happens all the time with right-wingers and the moral panic they support. It's the same moral. I can't read any more of this shit. I'm sorry. I'll throw it into chat for you guys. This woman's an idiot. And it's the same shit we see all the time. Like the right, they do all of this bad. And look, when we say bad stuff about people, like when we say that people on the right want to kill gays, that's not stochastic terrorism, you see, because if you tell people that this group wants to kill this group, nobody's ever going to do anything to the first group. They'll just be like, oh, okay, it's okay to want to kill gays. Ministry of Wrong Thing. Thank you, Monk. We're not supporting the shooter. We're sarcastically supporting the shooter now, or get it now? No. I hear what you're saying. She's just a lying fuck. Don't try to make it sound that there's nothing makes that sound sane. You know, sometimes you can hear something and at least you understand it from what they were saying. This is just made up bullshit. This is just people on the right suck, and I'm going to prove that they're they're stochastic terrorists.
Yeah, let me sum it up. We're the goodies, they're the baddies.
Yep. That's all it boils down to. It's just a bunch of stupid shit. And fuck them. I don't give a shit about those people. She's a dumbass liar, and wait, that's the same link. Yeah. Okay, so we only have one left. That one is in there twice.
Is it?
Okay. Then there's some big boobies. There's some people getting excited right now. Don't get excited.
Come on, stupid internet.
All right, there we go. I don't know what's going on in this. I didn't read it yet because I'm sometimes a good person. Oh, wait. You know what? I'm not positive that I shared audio.
Oh, yeah, we read that one.
Yeah, because that one's
I don't know why that
one's
one's in there twice. I don't know.
All right. Let's see what the big-breasted woman has to say.
Hang on. This is a long clip. We're probably not going to get through it all because it's going to enrage you.
It's 5 minutes. Holy shit. Yeah, this could take an hour. All right, here we go.
I think that white people are committed to being villains in
We made it 5 seconds, guys.
I think white people are committed to being villains. Wow. Well, what a way to start, lady. Really? Can you say that about any other group?
Nope. Oh, heavens no.
Jesus Christ.
Oh, I stand corrected, guys. 3 seconds. We made it 3 seconds in.
in the aggregate, right? The real sort of issue here, and I've heard people sort of say it, is one, I think that white people viscerally fear. It's not that white people don't know, right, what they have done. They know.
What have we done?
I don't know. She just assured me we do, but
Yeah, I know.
I'm sorry. What haven't you done?
Well, in fairness, I ain't done shit.
He's Gen X. He's Gen X. They don't.
Yeah, so is Jack. We ain't do shit.
Yeah.
What she's getting at here is, guys, you know you've been racist, that you had slavery. I didn't do any of that shit. I wasn't even born.
I'm a boomer. I was alive then. I admit it.
It's all Bloodwing's fault. Bloodwing did it all. He knows what he did.
Spittlebuggy said she's got a better mustache than my dad.
That reminds me of so many arguments I've had with my wife. You know what you did.
You know what you did. How dare you? All right.
They fear that there is no other way to be human but the way in which they are human, which is to, so, like you talk to white people, and whenever you really want to have a reckoning about it, they say stuff like, it's just human nature. If y'all had all of this power, you would have done the same thing, right?
I've never heard a white person say that.
Not once.
Hey, real fast. Thank you, Evolved Potato. Is that why white people commit 50% of the crime while making up only 13% of the population? Oh, wait.
Black people have had power. Just not maybe here, but they've had power.
There's a movie called The Woman Queen or some shit like that, or The Woman King thing.
Yeah.
It's all about a black nation with a lot of power where they took black people and sold them to honkies.
Yeah, of course, the
Well-
movie twisted it all and
Yeah.
glossed over that fact.
I don't want to say it's human nature, but it certainly seems to be a human connection because groups that have had power have done horrible shit.
Well, it's amazing how many people in these circles of these are mostly black Hebrew Israelites talking this. They all seem to think that all of Africa was like the Egyptian Empire or Wakanda, and it was just this magical, perfect place until the pasties showed up.
Yeah, no, the people who were selling slaves to the honkies kept some of the slaves for themselves.
Yeah. Slavery was a thing long before America or it was even a nation.
The king had a fucking harem that at least half of it were slave girls stolen from other tribes. But anyway, I'm sorry. What she said, no white person. Okay, if there's a white person saying that to you, they're retarded. It was probably Robin DiAngelo explaining how white people feel, and don't listen to her because she's a retard.
Yeah.
Right? And it's like, no, that's what white humans did. White human beings thought there's a world here and we own it. Prior to them,
All right. Yeah, there were no borders before white people.
Yeah.
Yeah, never mind.
black and brown people have been sailing across oceans, interacting with each other for centuries without total subjugation, domination, and colonialism. Right?
What?
Yeah, you know, the great international sub-Saharan African empires with their massive fleets of ships that went all over the world.
Are there any nations in Africa that weren't subjugated?
At one point or another, no. There
Was
was
she specifically talking about? We know the time period she's talking about.
Yeah.
Wakanda, yeah.
Especially as you get more into Africa, that comes up a little bit later when we were going for different resources we found.
No, so she didn't talk about the Chinese being there right now.
By the way, what's the name of that country from that stupid ass movie?
Wakanda?
No.
The Domies?
Yeah, them.
Yeah.
For the record, they were in a war with another African tribe that was dominating and oppressing them.
Yeah, and they were taking their hostages and selling them because that's what their main income source was.
Jesus fuck.
I have seen what a show this iteration of treatment of other human beings means, and that my hope is that we would do it differently.
All right.
Oh man, that image looks like she's about to come grab a sub sandwich.
It really
Oh, give me the buffet.
You know, in the moments when we have some power, we will not do it perfectly, but I do think that all of us can sort of agree that a politics that says like there are superior and inferior human beings just isn't the way to go.
Who's doing that? Seriously, are these people like only reading the Daily Stormer? Which would make them pretty much the only readers?
Well, I don't know. This seems to be a very common attitude in academia now.
It is, because it's what's being taught.
Yeah.
And academia, believe it or not, guys, they don't actually discover very much. They just repeat.
And that's the thing that white people don't trust us to do, because they are so corrupt. You know, their thinking is so morally and spiritually bankrupt.
Jesus Christ. This is some racist shit.
You ain't kidding.
No, Monkey, this is enlightened by today's standards.
Here's the thing.
Power plus privilege. She can't be racist against the whites.
If the rules were applied equally, we probably should have this episode taken down for showing this racist shit.
Yeah.
But because it's the right kind of racism, we'll be okay. That is fucking horrific.
As long as you hate white people, it's all right.
Thank you, Ministry of Wrong Think. Let's just ignore the fact that some of the oldest artifacts in existence are literally African crafted weapons of war. No, those weapons of war were for just in case white people ever came along.
Yeah, those were defense mechanisms, probably taken from Whitey to disarm him. I don't know. This is a bunch of nonsense. This lady's just a racist, and she's a professor.
Yeah, she's a horrible fucking racist, which makes sense. She's sitting here talking to Michael. Fuck, what's his name?
It's the guy from The Root.
Yeah. Is it Michael Hatfield?
No, it's something similar to that. I don't know.
Fuck, I can't remember his name. But yeah, this is The Root, and that's him, and they are a racist organization.
About power that they can't they fear viscerally, existentially letting go of power because they cannot imagine that there's another way to be. It is either that you dominate or you are dominated. And isn't it sad?
You dominate or you're dominated. Isn't that democracy? Am I wrong that would apply as a definition?
That would be a stochastic terrorist way of saying it.
It'd be a part of it.
She's just an obese, excuse-making racist. You know, Sam, you're spot on.
Yep.
That is spiritually who they are, and that they can't imagine a sort of more expansive notion of the world. The thing I want to say to you is we got to...
Hang on. That's Michael Harriet. Thank you.
Harriet, that's his last name. Thank you.
Hate Camel.
Take these motherfuckers out. But I know, but like, we can't say that, right? We can't say, like, I don't believe in a project of violence.
Did she just say take them MFers out?
We need to take these motherfuckers out, but you can't say that. And she says that like it's a bad. She can't say that we need to take out white people.
I'm sorry. It's just the way I am. When I see something so stupid, I have to laugh so I don't cry.
Imagine Richard Spencer sitting up here going, look, we all know we got to take those motherfuckers out, but we can't say it out loud.
Yeah, this is way worse than anything Kanye said, and he lost contracts in banking ability.
Jesus fucking Christ. You know, there is something to that last chick's article that the left can just come out and say they want violence. There is, don't get me wrong, they still do the bullshit that they claim is stochastic terrorism, but they are just violent. And oh no, look, I'm not violent. Bitch, you just said that you want to take out white people, but you can't say it out loud. But look, I ain't violent. Uh-huh. You're racist.
Truly don't, because I think in the end that our souls suffer from that, and I do think that some of this is a spiritual condition. So here is where.
So if you take out white people, that'll turn you white because then your soul is scarred.
She keeps saying spiritual condition. I mean, I don't know what her religion is.
Jesus told her to hate white people.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I'm like, what?
She was eating a taco one day and Jesus appeared to her and said, hate white people. They suck.
Yeah.
Anyhow.
Where I land most days about white people.
We would actually be able to see where you land because there'd be a giant fucking crater. That's a big bitch is all I'm saying.
That's just her aura of racism.
And I actually have been helped in this by thinking about indigenous people, right? See, part of the challenge around whiteness is that it totally skews our view of everything, right? I gave this like TED talk about this some years back. And one of the reasons I was trying to think about it is like the world didn't start when white people arrived in America and tried to tell all the rest of us how things were going to go. there were people out here making worlds, Africans and indigenous people being brilliant, and libraries and inventions and
Yes.
making slaves and causing war and
No, she specifically said here in America they were
Yep.
building libraries and inventions.
Uh-huh.
The like all those Indians that had golf carts or
Yeah.
wheels.
and look, I'm an indigenous. Okay, I don't look like it, but it's true.
Yeah.
Indigenous people, they fought wars, they collected slaves, all that stuff, long before the white people arrived.
I hear you, but like Jack said, she specifically was talking about their intellectual pursuits, and they didn't even have the fucking wheel.
No, they didn't. They were
Which-
still using bows and arrows, and
Which is something easy to figure out just by watching a rock roll down a fucking hill.
yeah, I mean, they didn't even have horses until the white men arrived.
Real quick. Thank you, Keldrick. I left and came back. What did I? Oh my God, it's the thing. No,
Look.
she just has dyed hair. That is not Ben Grimm, who is Jewish.
A lot of what white people were able to achieve comes from where they were living and how they were living. Necessity is the mother of all invention, right?
Most of the tribes, like in my home state, were nomadic.
Yeah.
They moved around, so they didn't have a lot of stuff they could, they didn't have the opportunity to create technologies. They didn't need them.
It was when, and I don't think it's anything special to white people, but when cities started forming, when the nomadic tribes and stuff started, this is when civilization rises.
Right.
And it wasn't even white people. You had the Egyptians who did it.
Yep.
We're off white.
Mm-hmm.
I don't understand why you're trying to pretend. Oh yeah, they were out here inventing stuff. What, moccasins? They figured out how to put shit on their feet.
I am interested in seeing their libraries.
Me too.
Since most of them didn't have the written word.
I was gonna say, did the American Indian have written word?
Yes.
Not too many of them.
Yes, the Cherokee did, for one. But that was very late that they invented that.
Yeah, and I know like the Aztecs, the Incas, and the Mayans all had a form of writing, but unfortunately that was destroyed by the Spanish missionaries.
Did they have books?
They had like what would be equivalent to scrolls, where it was like different plates of wood all kind of tied together in a scroll format. They did not have Microsoft Word, Frosted.
Sounds like it the way you just described it.
Yeah, it was sort of like a symbol system, very similar to hieroglyphics. But unfortunately, I don't remember any massive libraries hanging around Kansas.
When did the land bridge disappear?
Oh my!
Bering Strait's been at least
long time ago, even before I was born.
For thousands and thousands of years, they were over here mostly left alone, and they hadn't even invented the wheel.
Well, like I said, for a lot of these tribes, they didn't need to. They were not forced to advance. The conditions just weren't required. It's not that they were incapable of it; they just didn't.
Yeah, exactly. And not necessarily even a need, but again, civilization helps you advance. When actually farming, having your crops year after year in the same area, everybody's settling down. That's when you have people stop and start thinking of other things you can do with your time. That's where civilization comes from. Farming.
Yeah, there were some tribes, I think in like the Iroquois collective, that were like they had houses as opposed to like teepees. And they did do some farming, but there were so many other tribes at war with them that I don't think they really had the chance because there
And-
were thousands of tribes.
I don't remember the Indians, the American Indians, making giant boats to cross the Atlantic.
I don't know. I don't know what they did in their free time.
She's not
but-
suggesting they did it in a canoe, is she?
They couldn't even cross the Great Lakes in a canoe. Come on.
I wouldn't want to try and cross a Great Lake in a canoe. Oh,
Tyshawn,
God.
thank you. Michael Harriot, wasn't this the same dude who called WAP an empowering song all while salivating over it?
Yes.
I don't know, but I'm fairly certain he's the one. I want to say he was in the Star Wars, the infamous Lords of the Night Star Wars essay from the Root.
Probably.
The top 10 black characters in Star Wars.
Yeah, because he's kind of an idiot and doesn't like white people.
The horrible thing is he didn't used to be. The longer he's at the Root, the dumber he gets.
Yeah.
Anyway. Okay.
And, vibrant notions of humanity and cross-cultural exchange long before white people showed up being raggedy and violent and terrible.
White people showed up being raggedy.
Yeah. They drove their 79 Pintos over and put up some trailer parks.
Violence didn't exist before they arrived.
Yeah.
Oh, shit. 1 second. I didn't see that. I didn't pay attention that we have that Nuts had upgraded that so that blood is in here. All three of our Streamlabs links are at the top. Nuts, thank you for dropping that throughout the show. You're such a sweetheart to us.
Yeah.
Ah, damn it. I accidentally clicked play when you guys weren't listening. We're going to make it through this bitch.
Are we?
Yes. And that's a long distance. Here we go.
Everybody. And that's really important because if we believe that history starts for us when white people drag us to these shores, then we can never get outside of the notion that this is going to be our existential struggle.
What does she mean?
She's one of the people that thinks that black people were already here.
No, I get that, but she's saying if we think that we started there, all right.
I don't know anybody that thinks that history started when the white people arrived.
I agree.
Yeah, that's dumb.
But I don't know. Maybe I'm just I'm too disconnected from white people because I don't think I'm a good person because I know white people have been here for a while. Like, is there a black guy out there right now who's listening to this and went, "Oh my God, black people were here before the white man"? I feel so different now. By the way, there's no actual evidence of that.
No, other than like the Olmec heads, but nobody actually knows what those mean.
There were some dark-skinned, Indians, but
Sure.
not that dark.
Look, my brother, his Native American showed up, he's passed, but a lot more than mine did. He looked black in the summertime.
Mm-hmm.
In wintertime, he was whiter than I was. And yeah, if you have a tribe that is staying outside in the sun all day, they will darken up, but they don't turn black. That doesn't make them African, you fat retard.
All things that begin end. White folks are not infinite and eternal, right?
Who said they were?
Is she just throwing out whatever random shit comes in her head? Because it really sounds like she is.
I think so.
This sounds like religious doctrine.
It
Like when you
does.
start quoting manifestos and stuff.
When you start talking about immortality,
Yeah.
No, I disagree slightly. It sounds like cult doctrine.
Yeah.
fair enough.
They ain't gonna go on for infinity and infinity. And that's super important to remember that white colonialism and imperialism has a beginning. And in my way of thinking about the world, that means it has an end. And so part of what we are trying to do is to imagine what are the steps that we must take to get to the other side of this very inconvenient, epochal interruption.
I think you've done a lot of imagining. That's my thinking.
She sounds like Damon Wayans playing that character using words out of place.
Yeah, I know big words. Time to use them. What are they? What's the context for them? Does it matter? Shut up, bigot.
Jesus.
No one will know.
Like Black and Indigenous world making. I mean, does that give people comfort on the day to day when you like just having to deal with white folks and the the travesties that they create and the sense that they want to destroy the planet? Nah, there is a world.
What? I feel my brain actually melting a little bit here.
Oh, this lady makes my brain feel the way that. Oh, remember that chick Cinda? That
No.
thought all white people came from dogs
Oh God, yes.
way back in the day.
Oh,
It makes
yeah.
my brain feel the same way.
Brent says she's talking about white genocide. Yes, she actually is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But don't worry. Just because she wants to eradicate a motherfucker doesn't mean she's going to do it. Because she's non-violent.
Yeah.
She
Don't
might
be a
eat a few by the
stochastic
look of
terrorist.
her.
Sorry, I stepped on you there, Bloodwing. What'd you say?
That's all right. She might eat a few by the look of her, but you know.
She
World
looks like she
beyond
just farted.
Yes, she did.
even our sojourn on the earth. And so whiteness is going to have an end date because it is not, despite what white people think of themselves, they do not defy the laws of eternity, right?
But Black and Indigenous people do?
Yeah, because they have soul. They absorb that light through their melanin, and that gives them like superpowers. I remember watching that on one of those videos we saw.
Hey, sweetheart. Black people came before white people. So there's a good chance that if your little theory works out here, you'll be gone before us.
Don't try and apply white man's logic to this, monkey.
Ah, shit. I
Yeah,
hate when I'm accidentally
colonialist.
racist.
Yeah.
Their projects are not so sophisticated that the natural laws of physics change for them. And when we sort of
What?
humble them in humble our own understandings of whiteness,
When we humble them?
Yeah.
Good luck with that.
And she's talking about our junk.
seems like the biggest giant that we face, but in the end, right, it is what I like to say is, Black folks were out here for centuries and centuries and millennia doing all kinds of wonderful things and probably some up things too, but whiteness is largely an inconvenient interruption. And so we then get to ask ourselves, so why am I here in this moment of his life? Damn, why did I show up in this particular iteration?
What was that, Blood?
No, an inconvenient, whatever she called it, is her glossing over the bad things the Black did. It was an aside. Oh, and probably some bad things.
And it's like, well, I think we showed up in this iteration precisely so that we could help to figure out an end and a way to the other side of this, gargantuan historical tragedy that is white supremacy.
All right.
For somebody who hates white people so much, she uses a lot of his inventions.
She does, including the words she's speaking.
Yeah. Well, and hair dye to look, because there are no blonde Black people naturally.
Pat says, the Black people I've known have been cool, not like this. Yeah. She is not representative of Black people. She's representative of Black activists.
Yeah, I would hope she's not.
She's not. She's a fucking idiot who's trying to use race to not have to have a real job.
In fact,
Yeah,
that's it.
Black people I know, and I know quite a few, would laugh at her.
Oh, yeah, I know quite a few who tell her to shut the fuck up. They'd make fun of those ridiculously dark circles under her eyes.
Go eat some Popeyes.
Make fun of how fat she is and how dumb she is. Look, that woman's an idiot, but it doesn't surprise me that she's given a TED Talk, I don't know if she did a TED Talk or a TEDx.
Could be either one these days.
Yeah, TED used to be more about education. Excuse me. And now it's just as bad as TEDx is.
Real quick, thank you, John. How many buildings are over 100 years old? Look, your hate facts have no place here. Clearly, this was all concealed by the sinister white plot. I don't know. This makes no sense to me.
My goldfish is staring at her in dumbstruck confusion. Nice.
I'm pretty much doing the same thing.
And real quick, over on my thing, that thank you, Keldrick. Good to see you still alive, buddy. I haven't seen you in a while. It's great. I've been in the hospital.
Yeah,
But I'm okay.
She was on Dr. Phil. Was she really? I mean, I'm not shocked because that's where we are today. Go out there and be as openly racist as you want, as long as it's against white people. I'm not playing their racist game. I'm not. I love my black, my brown, my off-white brothers and sisters that are American. I care about your fucking values. I do not give a shit about your skin color. I'm not playing your game, you racist twat.
We're human beings.
Yeah. Look, I care about the American values.
Yep.
And if you share those values, the old ones, not this new nonsense, then yeah, I don't care. We were a melting pot. We've been around mixing for our entire timeline as America.
Yep.
So this type of divisionism is exactly that. It's just trying to divide us, break us down, and destroy this unique land, because most places are not as creative or diverse as America, and we have done some amazing things, and there are sexy people of all stripes that live here in America, and I want to have sex with many of them.
Don't let people like this fat bitch turn you into hating. Oh, black people hate white people. No, they don't. That bitch does.
Yeah.
And black people just want to live their fucking lives and enjoy the freedoms we have, the same as you and me. Don't fall for this stupid shit. Don't let them drag you down that hole. Guys, it is, 2 hours and 51 minutes into the show. We're going to wrap this one up so I can go play some Phasmo. Are you out there, my friend? Bubba, where you at? You can go play some Phasmo over on Twitch. Thank you guys for coming. Thank you so very much for the donations. And before I pass it off to you, Jack, Bloodwing, I am so very happy to see you. It's been a long time, my friend. I'm glad you're feeling a little bit better and that you got your surgery you needed.
Yeah. And I had a good time. It's been a while.
Jack, anything you want to shill?
Yeah, first thing I'm going to shill, though, is the link to the full video on this. So if you want to see it, I am dropping it in the chat now. Otherwise, I'll drop the links to a cool video in a second. And as always, thank you so much for the donations. I greatly appreciate it. You guys are awesome. And thank you to everybody that came out to my stream yesterday. You're all beautiful people. So thank you for everything. And we love you.
Keldrick, thank you, says, don't listen to somebody with a personal orbit. Well played, sir. Well played. Bloodwing, is there anything you want to shill?
Just that one of these days I'll get back to making content. When
Cool.
I get through being sick and almost dying and stuff like that.
Yeah, we're all glad you're not dead.
Absolutely.
I'm kind of glad I'm not dead too.
Good.
Look, I've met a lot of people on my YouTube journey here. You are one of my favorite, and I mean that sincerely.
Thank you.
One of my favorite people. I've always enjoyed talking with you.
Same here, bud.
I just looked down at my hand. I was playing with Phoebe today. Phoebe does not have a cat to play with, and she doesn't realize that she cuts skin. My arm looks like Bruce Willis's feet after he walks on the glass. Let's see. That is about a 3-inch cut. That one's about 2. That's 2. That's 1.5. I have about 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 just on the top of one of my arms here. Because she likes to play.
Get some claws clipped.
I don't want to do that. I don't like declawing cats and
Well, not declawing, just trimming them back a little.
trimming her claws. The problem is a lot of these cuts don't come from her claws. They come from her teeth because she bites. But I love her.
I've got a new dog. I don't know if you know that. I got a new puppy right before I got sick. My nephew's watching him right now, and hopefully he'll come home tomorrow. But anyway, yeah, my arms look very much the same.
Yeah, I look like an emo kid. Didn't get any presents for his birthday.
Ew.
It looks bad, man. It looks bad, but it also, I mean, it kind of looks all scarred up and sexy. So, ladies, picture me all scarred up and sexy with my big old wiener and my crippled self. Seriously, thank you guys for coming and hanging out with us. I'll be over on twitch.tv/rantingmonkey here in just a little bit playing some Phasmophobia. That is twitch.tv/Phasmophobia. No, switch. Twitch. Fuck me. Twitch.tv/rantingmonkey playing Phasmophobia. Me and Bubba are going to be over there doing some ghost hunting. So thank you, everybody, for coming and hanging out. Blood, Jack, a pleasure as always, my friends.
Always glad to be here.
I almost said my gentleman, and that sounded weird.
You're not British.
Because sometimes I say my friends, and sometimes I just say gentlemen, and my brain went, do them both. Guys, thank you for coming by. Have a wonderful night. We'll see y'all next time.
See you guys.
Bye, everybody.
It's okay to hate honkies. That's what she said to me. And then she threw me in a ditch and peed on top of me.